get rid of some, but I don't. Am I coming in choppy for you guys? Let me know. Is it a little shaky? Living Life says, why is the market dumping? The market's not dumping right now. Looks like it's going through a little bit of a rebound. As you can see there on my screen. A little bit, it's all good, it's all good. What are we snacking on tonight? I ain't gonna lie, I just had some Indian food. I had like some puri of such and some cookies. The missus made some fresh chocolate chip cookies. I literally just smashed them. Here go the napkin right here. Smashed, destroyed. Is it coming in choppy? All right, hold on. Let me try to get this situated. I'm a little apprehensive to close out some of the windows only because I might need to reference something a little bit later. But while you guys are looking at that, I'm going to do this real fast. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Nope, still choppy. Huh. What the devil? Should I get rid of this one too? What did I have up here? Someone just reminded me I had a whole bunch of conference information up there. I just want to make sure I don't lose it. My bad, y'all. Just bear with me for a second. Let's get rid of that, 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 that. Get rid of 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 that. Hopefully this is starting to come in a little more clear. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and get rid of... Let's get rid of all that. Let's get rid of all that. How are we doing? We still choppy? Please tell me we're not still choppy. I feel like we're still choppy. Damn it. I'm waiting on y'all. I'm Miss Stevie with the cake. Appreciate that. XRP Prado. Appreciate you for sending 6 roses, man. Thank you so much. Miss Stevie sent the perfume. You trying to tell me I stink? Hold on. Last I checked, I smell pretty good. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We good? Love to hear. Love to hear. Prez, good to see you here, man. It's still choppy for real. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let me do this. I was doing mad research here. Mad research. SBC Global. If I need to reference that, someone just remind me. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Is it getting better? Get rid of that. It's bad like XRP. You heard? Pluto with the jokes. I'm trying to get it cleared up. I'm trying to get it cleared up. I'm trying to get it cleared up. I got some stuff on here I might want to reference a little later, though. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all the RWA.xyz, right? Maybe that's very memory intensive. Let's get rid of that. RWA.xyz. Stay Way Living says, bro, take a look at Zama. What are your thoughts? I'm about to show you something tonight that's going to blow Zama out the water, and you can hold me to it. Excuse me. All right, Maple Finance, get rid of that. Am I clearing up or am I still choppy? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. I'm going to hold that, keep that. Can I get rid of one of those? Is that going to do anything? Did that make me better or did it mess it up? Everything's clear over here? Okay, cool, cool, cool. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like super duper choppy. Who said that? Schmack with the heart. Me, thank you so much. Good to see you here, fam. Good to see you here, fam. All right. Let me ask y'all a question. The live we went through yesterday, day before yesterday, insightful, helpful, hated it. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Because I'm trying to take these lives a little bit of a different perspective. I feel like I do this with you all every time I feel like time is of the essence. And right now, I know some of y'all looking at my Christmas tree in the background. Mind your business. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Shamak. We good? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Donovan, appreciate you sending a heart, man. Thank you so much. So the live, I think it was on the 22nd. How y'all feel about that one? That was cool. Talked about a lot. We covered a lot of useful information. Looking for some feedback. Fear, what up, player? Good to see you here, my guy. Where you been, man? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? He said, "Oh man, what's going on? What's going on? It was a good live. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so what we got here for y'all tonight, right? What we got here for y'all? I've been working on this damn near all day, at least the research part. And I figured I'm like, we could go through this. We could talk about it, right? We could talk about it. We could go over all the information together, or I can make it succinct, where we cover it. It's very easy to digest in appropriate time. It doesn't need to be 4 hours long like the Solana live, which, if I'm being honest, like that Solana, that was a good live. I'm not going to lie to you. The Solana live, that was a good live. I feel like I might need to turn some of these house lights up. Hold on. Why is that not working? Someone to unplug my lamp. We'll deal with it. I'm not show ready yet, guys. The live stream's a little choppy. I can't get my other light on. What is this, amateur hour over here? Listen, like I said, I was working on this all day on a Sunday. All right. So we got 44 beautiful people in here, 135 total viewers thus far. Let's crank those numbers up. We're at 2667 likes. Let's try to get this thing up to 10,000. Because if I'm right about you guys, I think you're going to find a lot of value in what it is that we have here. And so what I want to open up with is, before we got off live last time, I said we're going to continue this conversation centered around tokenization. Keyshawn, I appreciate you sharing a lot, man. Thank you so much for that, family. Good to see you here. Flocka, good to see you here, my guy. And somebody was like, well, what's the deal with tokenization? Tokenization, over the last two conferences that I've been to this conference season, there was a lot of talk, a lot of information that was centered around it. So a lot of what you're going to get tonight is a lot of what was talked about at Consensus. Some of it was talked about at the Bitcoin conference, and I assume is going to be continued to be talked about as we move forward into conference season. And 2 or 3 lives ago, we had the Bitcoin conference breakdown, right? We talked about some of the stuff I heard, some of the stuff Fred heard, some of the stuff Angel heard, some of the stuff Caveman heard, BB. And speaking with Fred, as soon as a lot of that information came off the press, we said, we suspect you probably got about a year and a half before things really get to rocking and rolling. And a part of that, what they were talking about, the Bitcoin conference, tokenization, actually comes to fruition. What's up, Crypto Granny, Bobby Bob? Good to see you here. If what they were talking about regarding tokenization comes to pass, I think there's going to be some information that we're going to talk about here tonight that's going to make a lot of people go, oh, like, how do I get in line for that? So we're going to talk about that. Because in 2024, Larry Fink sat on, there's a conference in New York. Someone is texting me. Who is it? It was a conference in New York. And he came out and he told people, like, hey, tokenization is going to be the next big trend in all of finance. And it's taken us about 2 years to get here, but, like, here we are. Here we are. All right. And so with this being 2026, friends of the channel have said this eloquently. 1 year down, 3 years up. We are in the down year. 2025, Bitcoin was going off like gangbusters. Alt season, very lackluster performance. But it's 2026. The whole entire market is taking a bit of a shit, right? Even appreciate seeing those MVPs, man. Thank you so much for that. Donovan, appreciate seeing the heart me as well. Appreciate you. Keyshawn, appreciate seeing the heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is 2026. This is the down year in the market. So if everything remains true according to plan, this is a year down. We're from here, from October until 2028. It should be 3 years up. Right? There's a lot of things going on with Cuba right now. 1 minute we've got a peace talk on the table with Iran. The next minute it's pulled off the table. The next minute it's back on. So Iran is like a giant question mark. No one knows what's going on. If it's one thing the markets hate, it's uncertainty. So because a peace deal is on, then it's off, then it's on again, then it's off again. That falls into the bucket of uncertainty. And because the markets don't like uncertainty, you give that an extra notch towards the markets performing poorly versus rallying and doing something truly amazing. Okay. Adam says, I think the 4-year cycle is over. We can talk about it. I mean, everything that we're seeing, even up to this date, May 24th, 2026 at 10:24 Eastern Standard Time, 10:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, says that the 4-year cycle is still very much intact. But if you really want to have a conversation, we can talk about it, right? Personally, I don't think that it's over. But there are lives, there are people in the community that I, happen to run around with, and some people think it's still on, some people think it's off. I don't think it's off. Stock market, crypto stock markets, appreciate you, family. Welcome. Good to see you here, my guy. Appreciate you sending a heart me. Just dropped my hot pocket. My damn phone jumped out my hand. Has the ETF changed the game? The ETF, I wouldn't say changed the game. I would say it's added a certain nuance to the game, right? I think people who want to hold crypto versus people who want to hold the actual ETF, those are usually two different players, oftentimes looking to do something different for like tax purposes, right? There's certain things you can do with ETFs and taxes that you can't really do with holding underlying assets. Satoshi, my guy, welcome, family. Good to see you here, my guy. Thank you for sending that heart me. Y'all are amazing. BTC cycle is alive and well. It's alive and well. I agree with you, Marcus. I agree with you, family. And I get it, right? For a second there, the 4-year cycle invalidating itself, that was a hot take. Like, ooh, people got clicks off of that. Until it invalidates itself, like, in my opinion, it's still on and popping. It is still alive and kicking. All right? Remy, boy. Good to see you here, Remy. Welcome, family. Thank you for sending that heart me, fam. Thank you. Chaz is in the building. What's up, Chaz? And so, until the 4-year cycle invalidates itself, in my opinion, you gotta hold true that it's doing alive and well. And even when you look at things, how they're shaping up now, right, with clarity, I just think at a certain point in time, when it comes to crypto, you're not allowed to believe in coincidences. And I think now is one of those times. Granted, the window for getting clarity sewn up is closing. I think you got to get, obviously, I've said this before, you have to get it done before midterms. If you don't get it done before midterms, there's a lot of things that get a little fucky, if I'm being honest. And if they do get done, it's not like things, at least the way that I understand it, go into effect immediately. Maybe like all but one thing. Maybe one thing goes into effect almost immediately. But in order to get the ball rolling on things that get signed into law, it's probably going to take a year. So even if it goes down now, by this time in 2027, a lot of what we're talking about in the Clarity Act should finally be getting to the point where it's ready to launch. Okay, well, where does that put us? On the eve, damn near, of 2028. Halving year. Year after halving, things go apeshit. So, I don't want to get too far up into the weeds, but it's kind of shaping up like the 4-year cycle is definitely still intact. All right. Cosmic and I, we always talk about the DXY. He's like, oh my God, the DXY is looking a little shaky. And, you have a day like yesterday where it goes to, or Friday where it's at like 99. It's looking fine, right? Not in any danger of falling off a cliff anytime soon. So it's like, you just you gotta keep your eye on it. You got to keep your eye on it. And at this point in the game, I think what's most important is understand what is coming down the pipeline. Because if you understand what's coming down the pipeline, you can effectively position yourself accordingly. Right? This is one of the ways that I knew in 2024 that in 2025 I needed to be going very heavy into Bitcoin, which is why if you go back and you check a lot of my old content from 2024, given I'm a self-proclaimed Bitcoin maxi, I was always telling people that, hey, you need to be paying attention to Bitcoin. But in 2024, I was really trying to do my best to make sure people were not ignoring the big orange guy in the number one slot. And then when 2025 came around and a lot of people were expecting altcoins to perform a certain way and they didn't, everyone who was focused on Bitcoin was like, man, this is great. This is just like 2021. This is just like 2017, 2018. And everyone who neglected Bitcoin was like, man, this market sucks. What are y'all talking about? And at that point in time, it was very clear. It was very easy to draw a dichotomy and understand that people across the board were not invested in the same thing. So we are going to take this from the top yet again, and I'm going to have the positional conversation with people. Now is a point of the game where you need to make sure that you are positioned appropriately for what is coming down the pipeline. And what is it that I think is coming down the pipeline? Just from what I've been able to see. Happy birthday, Donovan. Happy birthday, fam. I'd sing to you, but tokenization. And one of the reasons why I believe that is tokenization, probably with two other things. But one of the reasons why I really feel that tokenization is going to be a big factor going into next cycle is because for two conferences now, and these were major conferences, right? When you look at cryptocurrency conferences, you've got smalls, you've got the mids, and you've got majors. The two that I've attended so far this year were the majors. There's, a couple more coming this year. I still got to work the scheduling out, but, so I'll know where I'm going to be at. There's one coming in September. That one's probably going to be a small, right? I don't even think that was going to be a mid. There's one in Vegas, June or July. I believe that one's probably going to be like a mid-major, kind of hybrid between major and a mid. Obviously, it may not be as big as like the Bitcoin conference. Probably won't be as big as I was about to say Centrifuge, but that's not it. Won't be as big as Consensus, right? But yeah, there's a couple that are coming up. Futurist, Blockchain Futurist in Toronto. That one's probably going to be a major one, right? So keep your eyes peeled. You'll probably catch me walking around there. We just got to get some stuff logistically worked out. But for two of the majors so far, the talk has been tokenization. There was one in New York. We'll call that one a small mid. That one was put on by a lot of TradFi institutions. And what were they talking about? Stablecoin and tokenization. Okay? There's a reason why this theme keeps popping up. And the reason I believe is because that is going to be one of the strongest narratives going into next cycle. So if you are absolutely trying to clean house, I welcome you to come on in, grab a pen and paper, take some notes, record the live. At the end of the live, if you want what I'm going to show you, let me know. I'm going to try to put this on Twitter, and maybe you guys can download it straight from there. It's a nice little presentation I've put together for you all. Hope you enjoy it. Questions, I'm going to try to keep my eyes on the chat. Pop in, pop out, answer questions should they arise. But without any further ado, for your viewing pleasure, we are talking about tokenization and how retail captures value. All right. DJ, if you would mind. Boom. This is how retail captures value. We're talking about tokenization here, okay? Now, the thing about tokenization is, what is it? What is it? It might help if I start off on the right slide. Glenn, what are you doing? What are you doing, Glenn? Huh? What are you doing? My bad, y'all. It's amateur hour over here. Fred with the Galaxy. Appreciate you, family. Good to see you here, my boy. I know we were supposed to do this one yesterday. But damn it, better late is never. Better late than never. All right, so here we go. How value is captured by retail. We're talking about tokenization. On the agenda, easy to follow. I want to break down what tokenization is. I want to talk to you all about what the scale of the narrative is and how value is actually captured by retail investors. So y'all all feel free to ask questions. I'll be keeping my eye to the chat, keep my eyes on the live stream, and we're going to keep rocking and rolling, all right? So what is asset tokenization? We've heard this before. We've kind of seen it popping up in certain lives, and some people understand it a little bit better than others. Freya with the galaxy again. My gosh. My gosh. Appreciate that, Fred. Thank you. Thank you. Trying to find the appropriate sound effect, but I lost it. Hang on. I think I got it. All right, cool. So we've seen this pop up on other lives before. Some people understand a little bit better than others. Some people have been studying it a little bit longer than many of us have. And if you've never heard about it, you're like, tokenization is just like a new kind of token. Like, what exactly is it? But tokenization in of itself is when you take a traditional asset, be it physical or digital, and it's the process of converting ownership rights of that physical or digital item and digitizing it into a token recorded on the blockchain. Some examples of this are some real estate projects that have been tokenized, U.S. treasuries, private credit, commodities, stocks and ETFs, fine art, and collectibles. So of every single variant of tokenization that we've seen so far in 2021, we had NFTs, right? Some people actually took legitimate NFTs or legitimate paintings, rather, and they tokenized it. And they allow people to buy fractional shares into real life paintings. Basically made the whole PowerPoint. Hey, I got to get the information out there. You know what I mean? I got to get the information out there. Currently, one of the best representations of tokenization that we have are stablecoins. You take a U.S. Treasury, you tokenize it. What is that? I'm blinging. I'm shining. Appreciate you, Fear. Thank you so much, my guy. Hey. I'm shining. Got my 2 chains on, literally and figuratively. So when you take a U.S. Treasury, you tokenize it, you create a stable coin around it, and it's minted onto the blockchain. And so for every stable coin that exists, there is the equivalent of a U.S. Treasury that backs it, fully 1-to-1. Frankie, everything is going to be tokenized. Satoshi, appreciate you those Go Gloves, man. Thank you so much. Outside of fine arts and collectibles like NFTs, U.S. Treasuries, what we are starting to see come alive now in the ecosystem is stocks. We've all heard the rumor, the ICE Continental Exchange, the NASDAQ, they want to go 24/7. Well, the only way to do that really is if they tokenize the stock market and they put it on the blockchain. And that is what you are seeing happen now. Currently, you can get things like NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla. Jay Hart, appreciate the heart, man. Thank you so much, family. Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate that. Good to see you here as well. Everybody's showing up. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. And when you take a look at how large this sector is growing, I think of all of the narratives and trends that we have seen since the market pinnacle in 2025, the tokenization of assets has probably been one of the largest, if not the largest, growing sector. I think it's safe to say that, right? So when you ask yourself, well, why does tokenization matter? Okay, what's the big deal? Okay, I can trade 24/7, 365, but why does it matter? Tokenization, we're talking about things like faster settlement, fractional ownership. Now, let's just talk about the fractional ownership bit for a second. Prior to, I want to say, 2021, when people were going absolutely bonkers with the pandemic, extra stimulus that was out in the market, you used to have to call up to your stockbroker. You used to have to go online, $7 for a buy, $7 for a sell, and you could only buy one actual share. You could buy more, but you couldn't buy any less than one actual share. Well, then, crypto starts to kind of find its way into the narrative, the conversation. And instead of buying one whole Bitcoin, you could buy half, a tenth, a eighth, a 16th, one XRP, 12 XRP, half a XRP, 1/36th of an XRP. Depending on whatever you wanted to spend, you could buy it. Same thing with Dogecoin. Same thing with Ethereum. And then people in TradFi started to catch wind of that. And one of the first brokers, one of the first platforms to offer this fractionalized ownership was Webull and Robinhood. And so the cool thing about that was, for the first time in a long while, it took what everyone thought they knew about buying stocks and bonds and ETFs, and it turned it on its ear. For the first time, it just wasn't about, hey, the rich people being exclusive in the world of finance and buying stocks. No. Now, if you were making minimum wage, if you were a college kid, or if you were a high school working your first or your second job, you could now start to really build your stock portfolio. It was relative to the amount of money that you wanted to put in. You were no longer barred by, well, here's our rules and this is the way that it's got to be. $7 for a trade, either on the buy side or sell side. Nope, they did away with that. Because once people started getting wind, like, oh, if I just go to Robinhood, not only can I buy fractional shares, but they also don't charge me the $7 commission for a buy and a sell. I remember being with Schwab in, I want to say the early mid-2000s. And, I was a relatively young guy, not really working with a ton of money. Not a whole lot of money, but, I knew the importance of investing. And I remember getting that. Oh, you want to buy X amount of shares? Okay, cool. That's going to be $7 on top of whatever you want to buy and you want to sell. And I didn't like it because I kind of felt like, hey, there's somebody in my pocket. There's somebody in my pocket. I want to buy, I want to sell. I got to pay this person money. And if I don't have to pay them money, that could be extra money that I put down on the shares or whatever it is that I want to buy. And it wasn't just me that felt like that. It was a lot of you that felt like that. A lot of your neighbors, a lot of people that you go to at the grocery store, a lot of people you bump into the gym. Well, if enough of us got on the same page, and we did, it became very common practice where E-Trade was like, oh, we're eliminating the fees. We're eliminating commissions. Yeah, because if they didn't, they weren't going to have a business anymore. So fractional ownership really kind of kicked this thing in a high gear. It lowered the barrier to entry. We talked about this, 24/7 global markets. And if it's trading on a blockchain, you get improved transparency. You can see where every asset is at any given time, when it was bought, when it was sold, what happened to it. This also ushered in institutional interest. Major financial institutions were actively exploring tokenization. We first heard about this again in 2024 from BlackRock, and wherever BlackRock turns their gaze, that's usually where the market goes. JP Morgan, the largest bank in the United States, very quickly decided that they wanted to jump in and follow suit. Frankly, Templeton Investments, they waited for the dust to settle a little bit. They waited for market participants to really show them what they had, and then I want to say in 2025, Q1 or Q2, they decided to throw their hat in the ring. So a lot of the mainstream institutions that were, shitting on this industry in 2017, 18, 19, now they're fully on board. Okay? So how does the actual asset tokenization work? Like, what's the actual nuts and bolts of it? And this is the part of the conversation where, if you had to break it down into pillars, this is one of the pillars that I would say is super, super important. Because it's not enough just to know that, okay, tokenization is going to be a huge narrative. But what you also have got to find out is, all right, how do I as retail, how do I benefit from this? So when you look at creating a pizza, right, a pizza is not a pizza if it doesn't have the right ingredients. And RWAs and tokenize without, again, the right ingredients. So in order to tokenize something, you've got to select a real-world asset that you want to tokenize. You've got to choose a blockchain that you want to mint this asset to. Then you've got to define the token's properties before you actually mint the tokens, right? So if you say, I have a building, and this building is going to be comprised of 144 tokens, and those tokens are going to trade on an exchange, you've got to define all those properties that make up that token. When can they buy? When can they sell? Is it fractional? How much? Is it in perpetuity? Is it just for a limited time? Do I want them to be institutional, or do I want them to be open regulation? Number 4, when you're ready, you've got all that figured out, you go to mint to chain. Now, it's important that I mention this ERC 3643, because depending on whatever type of asset you're looking at, it may require a little bit more, I'll say, scrutiny. So once you've got some chains or some RWAs minted to a chain, they're going to need to go through further monitoring to manage distribution or to ensure their compliance with regulations. That ERC 3643, that is a actual regulatory compliant Ethereum standard, which is kind of interesting because on the other side, Solana has their own regulated approved blockchain, which is one of the reasons R3 Corda started to look to them to say, hey, we want you to bring us, the banks, to DeFi. But more on that in a minute. Items like tokenized money market funds are one of these RWAs that's going to require additional monitoring because it's got to be regulated. And depending on the RWA token, it may be available on DEXs. We're going to come back to that in a minute because that offers a really interesting opportunity for retail. Now, I should probably mention at this point in time that the DEXs will meet at the intersection of DeFi and TradFi. In fact, Centrifuge, they are one of the only that I've been able to find in my research thus far. They're one of the only issuers of tokenized RWAs that use liquidity pools to receive crowdsourced funds. And in return, users who provide LP or liquidity will get a cut from whatever asset is bought with those crowdsourced funds. I think that is super cool. Because what we're going to find here is with a lot of this stuff, some retail, actually a lot of retail, has actually been like kept out. The big three. Oh, wait a minute. That's not right. That shouldn't be there. The big three. What the hell is this doing here? All right, let's try that again. The big three. Alexa, remind me to fire the intern. What the hell? Let's try it again. Okay, cool. There we go. The big three. Bain & Company, McKinsey & Company, Boston Consulting Group. Some of you may have heard of these companies before. Some of you maybe not so much. Who are the big three? At a glance, Bain & Company, McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group, these guys are like high-level operators, right? If you're sitting down at the house with your honey, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, y'all watching like Badlands or you're watching like Sicario or like a movie like that, the big three high-level operators, these guys are like corporate doctors, high-level corporate strategists. They're the ones who handle the billion-dollar mergers and acquisitions, and they are strategy consulting, helping executives make high-level impactful decisions. There's a reason why I'm showing you this. At a glance, Bain & Company, they are the heavy hitters of private equity. Result-oriented execution, and in 2025, I believe the revenue was like $7 billion. Boston Consulting Group, they are the creators of the growth share matrix. Now, listen to me, all right? Hear me. There is a very real chance, right? Depending on whatever it is that you do for a living, you at one point in time or another have used this growth share matrix, right? It's 4 boxes. And one, you've got a cow, you've got a star, you've got a dog, you've got a question mark. And essentially what you're trying to figure out is where is your positioning based on the products or services that you offer in relation to the market that you play in. So some of your managers might have used this for like performance to gauge you versus like some of your other, well, I got to be muted. You're not muted. What you mean? My man, Fred. What the heart me? Or I'm sorry, what the galaxy? Another one. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, family. Yeah. But you've probably used this at one point in time and another. It's good stuff. If you've never used it, definitely take a look at it. It's got a lot of different applications. I'm a huge fan of it. All right. You said you were muted? I don't think anybody muted you, EB. I don't know. Was it like a glitch or something? I didn't mute anybody. Let me check here. Hold on. Let me look into it. Nah, you should be good. Fred going crazy with the roses. He's on fire. Appreciate you, family. When you take a look at the Boston Consulting Group, there's no better firm in all of banking and corporate digital transformation. Now, there's a reason. There is a reason why the Bolton Consulting Group is in this slideshow, and there's a reason why they've got that title. No better consulting firm in all of banking, corporate, digital transformation. Money's going digital. Pretty sure if you look hard enough, you'll be able to find their fingerprints on a lot of this stuff that we're talking about here tonight. 2025, the revenue for BCG, $14 billion. And then you've got McKinsey. Yeah. Big, swinging, long, get a law McKinsey Group. The eldest, largest, and most globally recognized consulting firm in the world. When organizations in education or government have issues that they got to get solved, this is who they call. Exceptional data analytics expertise, and in 2025, the revenue was $16.5 billion. Listen, if it's one thing these guys know how to get done, they get it done. Angel Money with the heart, or I'm sorry, with the roses. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So moving on here, let's take a look at this. Why are we looking at this? We need to understand this because these three firms have all had significant input on where it is that they see this market capitalization of tokenized assets going by decade end. And it's 2026. This means in the next 4 years. The market capitalization of tokenized assets could reach 2 to 4 trillion by the year 2020-30. This was reported by McKinsey and Company in 2024. What's up, Counts? Good to see you here. This was reported in 2024. ARK Invest is eyeing a more lofty prediction, 18 to 30 trillion market capitalization of tokenized assets by 2030. If you were to take a look at where the actual market capitalization now of all these assets are in total, real estate, money market funds, credit, NFT, everything that we've talked about thus far, it's only 34 billion. So across the board, everyone who is taking a look at this is expecting over a 100x growth by the end of the decade in the next 4 years. It's cool, Magic. You're right on time. Don't worry about it. You're right on time. This is why when we talk about tokenization, it's critically important to understand your positioning. This is why at the beginning of this, I said, wherever Larry Fink turns his gaze, that is where the market is going to go. And in 24, he told us in 2024, yeah, we think tokenization is going to be a big deal. Some other notable people on this list that we should probably talk about: Bolton Consulting Group, along with Ripple. They've got the market capitalization growing to about 9.4 trillion. ARK Invest, we talked about this, 11 trillion. Boston Consulting Group, I believe this was an addendum that was made. They potentially see this going to $19 trillion. And Standard Chartered sees the total market capitalization of all tokenized assets by the end of this decade going to $30.1 trillion. $30.1 trillion. D-Joy, appreciate you in the heartbeat, man. Thank you so much. Oh, man, we got some killers in the house. Solemn's in the building. Solemn, appreciate that heartbeat, man. Appreciate you. Good to see you here. $30.1 trillion. That's coming in from Standard Chartered. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. This just saying Fred with another galaxy. Appreciate you, family. Good to see you here. D-Joy, appreciate the press start. Thank you. That's crazy. So, again, if you got the opportunity, Fred with another one. God damn, my guy's going crazy. Tar Heel with the rose. Appreciate you, Tar Heel, for sending that. Thank you so much. 31 trillion, I need to be properly positioned. Bear market bully, that is what I'm saying, brother. That's what I'm saying. 42 minutes into this thing, we're starting to finally get like the scale of what it is that we're talking about here. Because again, when I would have these conversations about tokenization, I don't know if any of us really had an opportunity. Appreciate the hand heart, Tar Heel. Thank you so much. I don't know if any of us really had the opportunity to really put pen to paper to say, okay, how big could this thing get, right? Like you want to tokenize the entire stock market. Okay, but what does that really mean? You want to talk about bringing private credit into the mix. What does that really mean? And now for the first time, at least on my end, just being able to kind of put pen to paper and seeing what some of these valuations look like over the next 4 years. Yeah, I think the market looks all right. So when you take a look at the pie currently as it stands now, again, the best representation of tokenized real world assets that we have are U.S. Treasury. Why? Because of stablecoins. Outside of that, we got commodities coming in at 7.1 billion. We've got active strategies at 1.4 billion. Not entirely sure what that is. Non-U.S. government debt 1.4 billion. Stocks 1.6 billion. Specialty finance, again, private credit 1.7 billion. Asset-backed credit 2.3 billion. Asset-backed credit. Where have we seen that before? Danny O coming in with the heart. Me appreciate you, Danny. Good to see you here, family. Welcome, welcome. Asset-backed credit. Where have we seen that before? I think it might have been back in April at the Bitcoin conference when there was a whole lot of talk about digital credit being issued back by Bitcoin. It's probably nothing, though. You probably don't need to pay attention to that. Should probably be reading up on that a lot. Jessica with the Harmy. Good to see you here, family. Thank you so much for that. Brooklyn Faux Live with the Heart Me as well. Thank you so much. And to Go Popular. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. I appreciate y'all. 18 likes so far. That's okay. We head in the right direction. Let's see if we can bump that up to 30. Yeah, this is cool. I like y'all. Y'all all right. Y'all all right with me. But this is kind of like the lay of the landscape right now. And I'm sure some of you have seen this before. If not, you can definitely find it on RWA.xyz. When you take a look at the pie for tokenized treasury, right? The league table. Who are some of the biggest players? You got Circle, you got Ondo. Now, this is just as it stands as distributed. If you were to toggle this over to represented, you would probably see Tether in the #1 spot, right? Two of the biggest issuers of stablecoins. It's only right that they both share #1 in the respective categories. Ondo, Securitize, Franklin Templeton Investments, Wisdom Tree, Centrifuge. Ooh, there's that name again. Should probably write that down. That might be a secret tool that might help us later. We've got Super Straight. We've got Open Eden Digital, as well as Spoku. I might screenshot that list. Now, that's just for tokenized treasuries. Fred with another galaxy. My gosh. Absolutely crazy. He's going wild. That man's heating up. Going crazy in the chat. I love it. Appreciate you, Fred. When we take a look at wait a minute. Actually, yeah, let's go on to that because I think that definitely coincides with what we're talking about here. So when you talk about, okay, we're in the space, we have the scale, we have the timetable, we know where the attention is going to be focused, or at least a large chunk of the attention is going to be focused. How do we actually capture value? Again, coming back from consensus, that was a question that I came back with, and that is kind of where a lot of these talks are going to be centered around. How, as retail, do we capture value? 200 points to anybody who can identify what this picture is. 200 points to anybody. Angel Money with the corn and the GO and the GGs. Appreciate you. Thank you, Mario. 200 points. Anybody can identify that. Going once, going twice. Sold to the man in the bowler hat. That is Cornelius Vanderbilt. Now, you looking at me, you like, Glenn, what? My boy, Glenn, what are we doing? Why are we looking at pictures of trains when we're talking about crypto? Because if you want to be positioned correctly, you got to go after the railroads. Jessica, let's go. Let's go. Yes, the railroad barons. Yes, let's go. Cornelius Vanderbilt. This man made his fortune. Started off by buying small stocks in railroads, and then when the time came right, harvesting, right, taking this harvest and rolling it into some of the larger railroads. So when you see that up there and you see it says go for the railroads, that is exactly what I think, in my own humble opinion, folks need to do. Go after the railroads. Glenn, okay, well, what do you mean? Like, what railroad specifically are you talking about? Right? Well, let's take a look. If we are talking about the tokenized stock ledger, right, or stock league, this is one of the biggest baskets in RWAs. And in that stable, Ondo is the biggest horse. Okay. Now, here is the problem. When you open up Ondo and you start to do your research on Ondo, as much as it pains me to say this, and I like Ondo, but I believe in keeping things a bean, there's two ways to play this. If you're super risk on, you're probably going to buy Ondo, sit back and just wait for positive price action. Sit back and wait for positive price appreciation. Just got muted again. What? Who's my mod in here? All right, mods, I only got 2 of my mods in here right now. Let's not mute anybody, mods. I should be like Deuces Wild. That guy be acting crazy sometimes. We can hear you this whole time. No muting. That's coming in from Al. Counts. All right. Well, yeah, man. You got the DMs. Hit me up. For sure. Hit me up. All right, yeah, Miles. Let's not mute anybody. Unless they spamming. Unless somebody's spamming like meme coin or something in the chat. Fred. Have I introduced y'all to my guy Fred? Mr. Big Stepper? Mr. Big Tipper? Mr. I can get into rooms that you can at crypto conferences because I got the right credentials? I'm not going to lie. That one's still going to hurt when the wind blows. Me and the folks over at the Bitcoin conference, we got to have a talk. But I can't touch on this enough. When you go to conferences, it's super beneficial to have a clique, a team, right? Because some of y'all are going to be in different places. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes y'all not going to be able to see everything, but if everyone is positioned accordingly, y'all will be able to get together, share notes, spread the homework around, and develop a general consensus. So, again, Fred, like, conference season, you the real MVP. I'm being 100% because that little nugget that you came out the breakaway stage with, yeah. That was a whole bar. But going back to what I was talking about, right? So you can get into the Ondo. Who did that? Solon with the cowboy hat. Yeehaw. You can get into Ondo, and you can hold on to Ondo. Solon, appreciate the heart, me man, the hand heart. Thank you so much, sir. You guys are amazing. And you can wait for positive price action. But here's the thing, and I like Ondo. I like Ondo. So what I'm going to say this isn't FUD. This isn't, you know what I mean? This isn't about that. Who sent that dog shaking this little doggy ass? Appreciate that. Thank you, Solon. Appreciate you, man. When you look at Ondo, and when you really start going through the books, you'll say, okay, what does the Ondo token actually do? It's just a governance token. Did y'all know that? It's just a governance token. It's not used for the creation of any smart contracts on Ondo's platform. So Ondo has a stable coin on their platform, Fuse, I believe it's called. And with Ondo, you can vote on certain things that can help ensure that Fuse continues to represent the interests of retail investors as well as institutions, but with the blooming heart. Appreciate you, Solomon. Thank you so much, guy. I've never seen that one before. That was pretty cool. It's kind of like a DAO, right? Except it's not autonomous. You know what I mean? Like, BlackRock is all through there, but the only thing you can actually do with the Ondo token is use it for governance and use it for voting. So you can buy the Ondo token if you're risk on and, hey, maybe, we get positive price appreciation. But in my opinion, and I'm not saying rule that out, but in my opinion, I think the better, maybe the more efficient way to go is to go after the railroads that feed into Ondo. Glenn, what do you mean? When you look at this chart here, right, and it says go after the railroads, right there, this is the Ondo RWA league table. So every one of these assets here, Ethereum, BNB, Plume, Solana, the XRPL, Say, Stellar, Mantle, Sui, Noble, some of them more than others, are going to have more of an effect on Ondo. And here's what I mean. While I was putting together this list, because again, we've kind of been teasing having this conversation for a little while, going into an hour into this thing. We've kind of been teasing this for a little while. When you write a smart contract on Solana, in order to deploy that smart contract, you need Solana. In order to write a smart contract on Ethereum, in order to deploy that smart contract, you need Ethereum. With Ondo, because Ondo doesn't have its own programming language, because it doesn't have its own like, it's got its own ecosystem, but it doesn't have its own smart contracts, if I can say that. There's so many different feeders that feed into it. When it comes time for the tokenization of Ondo, whether it be more stocks being deployed to Ondo Finance, they're going to write those smart contracts on Ethereum, or they're going to write those smart contracts on Solana. You see what I'm saying? So if you know that's where it's going, and if they're telling you, hey, we're looking at this entire sector to grow by a factor of 100x by 2030, go after the railroads. Go after the blockchains that directly feed in to Ondo. Because Ondo can't do it by themselves. Okay? Go after those railroads. Now that you say, okay, cool, I know the railroads that feed into Ondo, but that still isn't enough. Now you've got to look at other things like market cap. You've got to look at things like network effect. You've got to look at things like what is their competitive advantage in relation to other blockchains. Remy says, yeah, but isn't Ondo just a governance token to vote on protocol where it's not only truly needed? Yes. So that's kind of what we're talking about, right? Like, you can buy the Ondo token and just sit and expect positive price appreciation. That's probably going to be the more risky way to do it. Or you can say, hey, every time one of these smart contracts get written for the tokenization of stocks or the tokenizations of a money management fund, it's probably going to come by way of BNB, Solana, Ethereum. And every time that smart contract gets written, in order to deploy it, you need to utilize Solana. You need to utilize Ethereum. You need to utilize BNB or XRP, depending on where it's coming in. So if we're looking at this and we're trying to attack it from, okay, RWAs are set to explode, how do we capture value, right? Now, why else are we having this conversation? I'm going to show you why else we're having this conversation. Because you can go to something like, let's go back here for a second. You can say, you know what? I've been looking at the private credit, Glenn, and I think this looks really, really amazing. I want to go after this thing called Maple, right? Because it's the number one spot tokenized credit league table. It's in the number one spot. I want to research it. And you know what? Maybe I've heard a little bit about Centrifuge, and I kind of like what they got going on. Or you know what? Maybe I've looked a little bit at Securitize, and I like a little bit what they got going on. But I understand Securitize is really just for institutional players, and I'm retail, and I got to try to find someone who's going to allow retail to kind of come in and try to extract some value from this, right? So let's look at Maple real fast. Let's look at Maple real fast here. Give me 2 seconds. And let's start, while that's loading up, let's start with Centrifuge. Wait a minute, Glenn, didn't you bring up Centrifuge earlier in this live? I did. And the reason why I brought up Centrifuge is because Centrifuge is one of the only players, right, from a retail standpoint, that you can come in as retail and you can try to extrapolate some kind of value out of this. Now, what you're going to notice is if you provide liquidity, assets to Centrifuge, right now it's currently paying like 3.3, 4.2, right, depending on which one of these assets that you want to target. Okay. This one down here is 8.18. So it's a little aggressive. But when you come over here, and I hope y'all can see this, you're going to notice while being retail, you can come in and play. The minimum investments are going to keep a lot of people locked out. Because in Centrifuge, in order to get a hold of, you know, the Janice Henderson Treasury Fund, the minimum investment is $500,000. Well, damn, Glenn, I'm only retail. I can't, you know, I don't have that kind of money. I get that. Okay, well, what about, you know, the Treasury Fund that's paying 8.18%? Minimum investment, $100,000. Okay, so you showed me where I can capture value, but now I have another problem because I need to have a minimum investment of X, Y, or Z. Damn, says Donovan. Wow, says Ches. Yeah. Okay. But what about if we come back over here to RWA to XYZ? And what happens if we start looking at credit? And what happens if we come over here to Maple? Total value currently is 1.5 billion. So they're doing all right. And maybe we go to the website. And now that we wait for the website to load up, we're going to try to see what can we find now. So I'm just going to click up here where it says enter app, right? You see that right there? It says enter app. Oh, okay. If I tie my money up here for about a year, I can get 4.6 APY. Way better than what Hyperliquid is giving right now. Hyperliquid is giving anywhere from 1 to 2%. I wish I was being facetious. I'm not. And if the name of the game is ROI, you got to know where can you go. You can get the Maple Institutional Secured Lending, but that's 5.2, and you have to have, again, minimum $100,000 investment. What we're looking at right here, you don't have to. Now, people who are paying attention to what money markets are doing right now, you're kind of be like, well, that might be the same APY I'm going to get on a high yield savings, depending on where you're at. Or you may be saying that's the same thing I'm going to get on a CD account, depending on where you're at. And yes, you are right. So while you know where you absolutely could go to try to capture some of this value in an asset class that is expected to do 100x by decade in, the 4.6 doesn't really get me wet, if I can be honest. Okay? Especially when things like Alpha Ledger exist. Now, what is Alpha Ledger? Oh, what's that? That little Solana ticker down there. Alpha Ledger is a platform that is running on Solana that sole responsibility is engineering yield for a new generation. If we were to take a look at some of their projects, the T12 fund, the target distribution for the T12 fund, Alpha Ledger running on Solana, is 12%. This is more than 3 times, or roughly 3 times, a lot of the other APY that you are going to get when you start looking at ecosystems in this arena of tokenization that is expected to grow by over 100% by decades. This is one of the reasons why I'm really kind of unintentionally trying to spread as much information about Solana as I can. It's not that I'm looking at this and I'm like, ooh, how do we promote Solana? What I'm saying, you compare apples to apples, Solana is really lining themselves up to be a bit of a front runner, to be a bit of a leader. The only gripe, the only reservation I have about Solana is where its current market cap is at right now. Because if the market cap was about like half of what it is and they had all of this going for it, my God. However, when you take a look at how it's been performing, and now that we're peeling back so many layers of this onion, it's not really surprising to see why Solana has been performing the way that it's been performing. I think it's safe to say that. Solana has a lot going for it. And this is before they fully open up the floodgates to private credit on their chain. Okay? Now, 12%, if you had to lock your money up for a year, but it's got, I even think this one has hourly liquidity. I've got to go back and check. Daily liquidity. Never mind. I see it right there. It's daily liquidity. But this, when you take a look at what Strategy is doing with Stretch, and then being able to pay an 11.5% dividend, this is going to shake up the industry by and large. So if you were someone you're like, I really don't want to take on too much risk, or I got a lot of money that I'm bringing over from the previous bull run, I want to park it somewhere, you got a couple options. You can definitely take a look at the perspectives on Alpha Ledger. You could take a look at the perspectives on Stretch from Strategy, right? So you're at 11.5%, the target. But I honestly think potentially investing in the rails, the ones that we talked about, are probably going to be better suited. Because I'm going to make a proclamation here, and this is going, some people, this is going to fall on deaf ears. Some people are going to be like, man, I remember the last time he said this shit, and I'll be damned if he was not right. I do not think we are going to get the same alt season that we've had before in the past. I think while you may see a general lifting of all the boats in alt season this go around, I think the ones that cater to tokenization are going to be light years ahead of everybody else. I also suspect that Bitcoin is going to be light years ahead of the altcoins that specifically focus on tokenization. The linchpin to all of that, I agree, it'll be bigger for certain coins that's coming in from fear. The linchpin to all of that is if we get clarity signed. Because once you get that signed into law, it literally opens up the floodgates. You get your Bitcoin products being made available to banks, institutions. They now, okay, cool, how can we interact with DeFi, so on and so forth. It literally opens the floodgates. And speaking of DeFi, another way for retail to capture value is to just keep an eye on certain protocols that will open up with DeFi, like a centrifuge. Currently available now, but I suspect there may be others. And the benefit to that is because you provide liquidity to these protocols, you get a cut of whatever the performing asset does, on top of the price appreciation for, the liquidity pool, right? You just being able to earn compensation for providing liquidity. So you're kind of double dipping. And if the DeFi protocol has its own token, if you're holding the underlying token to the DeFi protocol, now you're triple dipping because as the valuation and the activity of that protocol starts to go up, crosses a certain threshold, like a Uniswap token, right? The value of the native token for the DeFi protocol, like a perpetual swap, will start to go up. Think of something like Hyperliquid. Okay. So there's a few different ways to attack this. But again, I think above all else, attacking or going after the railroads are probably going to be your better bet because we're right now, right? We're looking at this alpha ledger. This is 12% in a year. Stretch 11.5, 11.8% in a year. Obviously, these are going to be focused on people who don't necessarily want the exposure to volatility of the underlying asset. And this is probably going to be people who are looking to play a different game. But if the maximum ROI is what you're after, holding the underlying assets in an ecosystem, in an environment where tokenization is going boom fuck crazy, you're going to see a 24% run in a day, a 36% run in a day, dare I say 100% run in a day. And that is being extrapolated against how certain altcoins have performed in the altcoin environment before in the past. Like before in the past, we've seen Dogecoin go up 100% in a day. Before in the past, we've seen things like AVAX go up 50, 60% in a day or two. And that's without you applying any leverage to it. So how does retail capture value when it comes to asset tokenization? Being on board and being in bed with the projects that directly act as feeders to some of the largest tokenization real world asset projects that we currently have now. So if I'm looking at Ondo, I'm probably looking at like BNB. I'm probably looking at, Sui. I'm probably looking at Solana. I'm definitely looking at, some cryptos like that. If we're talking like private credit, I'm probably looking at a Maple. I'm probably looking at a Centrifuge. There's going to be a few different avenues, but what I want to warn people against, I'm looking at Canton, right? Canton. Tokenization. If there's anyone that Canton, feeds into Canton for a lot of their tokenization on their platform. Only because I believe that in the next cycle, tokenization is probably going to be one of the bigger narratives that we've seen or that we will see. Outside of that, you're going to have agentic commerce. Solana has now surpassed Ethereum's growth trajectory by approximately 30x when comparing similar stages of development. That's coming in from Steve. I'm just saying, man, at a certain point in time, come to crypto, you're not allowed to believe in coincidences. I think Solana is really lining themselves up to be a beast this cycle. Steve. Fear says Sol had always been better than ETH. People just now seeing it, yeah. And Fear, like, even, when we have these conversations and a lot of people are still like, oh, well, Solana's just, it's a casino coin. I'm like, ooh, you haven't finished doing the research. I see why you would say that, but you haven't finished doing the research. Venus of the listeners, appreciate the roses, man. Thank you so much. Good to see you here, my guy. Good to see you here. We got to spend the time attacking the rails that are going to feed into tokenization. Because if I'm being honest, a lot of this stuff has been, built to keep retail out. We start talking about like how do you really earn yield on what's going on with stable coins? Like currently today, like I can provide a liquidity pair between two stables and I can earn some ROI. Yeah, sure, I can do that. But after the Clery Act is signed, a lot of that could change. So we're going to have different strategies in our back pocket. If we start talking about things like private credit, right? Like let me show you something. I want to show you something. Steve, let me hear some. I got you. All right. If we come over here, there's two things I want to show y'all. Flux. Another reason why I think it's so important to attack the rails that feed into these things. Say, you get into the Ondo ecosystem, you're like, cool, I'm working with Flux now, right? And I'm lending Flux. What are you gonna get? 4.6. All this stuff is relatively the same. 4.6, 4.5, right? If I'm being honest with you, unless you are working with an Omalog crap ton of money, while making passive income is cool, do not get me wrong. For a lot of people, a 4.6 APY on their money is not going to make them a whole lot of difference. Fire Marshal Bell, let me show you something. Aerodrome yield, yeah, Aerodrome's a good one too. What is Aerodrome? I refuse to believe that Aerodrome would be miles ahead. Right. I just refuse to believe it, eh? And I know I said I was going to look at the chat. I know I've been a little lacking. Let's go liquidity. What are we at? If I'm lending, 11, 12. I mean, that's a little risky, though. Like, what happens if that one starts to get deep pegged? Ugh. Like, at this point, the point 22, that's not worth my time. Wrapped ETH USDC, yeah, it's not bad. I could actually get behind that. I actually don't hate that. How much is in here? 764 million. That one looks really interesting. I like that. And this is why VVV has been going crazy, because they're giving you 33%. Brought the coin, built the capital, then deploy it 100%. Yeah, 4.6 is terrible if you've been in. I question, though, if that 4.6, if it's locked, right? Because the second, damn, y'all, my bad. Y'all can't even see this. My bad, G. There y'all go. Yeah, right? Like this 23% wrapped ETH for USDC, very enticing. VVV wrapped ETH giving you 33%, super enticing. And 4.6 is a lot less if you've been in certain DeFi protocols. But what I wonder if that 4.6 is locked, because I'm going to share something with you. The second that this amount of participant crosses a certain threshold, you're going to see this 33% over here start to dwindle. Can y'all see that? Freya with the Galaxy. That's a nasty one. Appreciate you, Brody. Thank you, sir. Appreciate y'all. It's going to stay the same. I don't know. I think if more people come over, I don't know if this 33 stays the same. What I've seen happen in DeFi protocols before is they give you like a high APY, right? To kind of entice people. Then as soon as people start jumping over and they start coming over, that gets lower. Yeah, I mean? For sure, yeah, it'll drop. Yep, it'll drop. So I wonder if that 4.6 on something like Fuse from Ondo or the APY that you get from Maple is like a locked. Better returns in the short term, yeah, for like the 23 or the 33%, right? But like something like the T12 fund from Alpha Layer, that for the most part is going to be 12% all day long. The 11 and a half, 11.8 that you might get from stretch, that's going to be 11 and a half, 11.8 all day long. So it's like you've got to take a look at like, all right, well, where do I want to be? You know, and fear. That's my point. 4.6. If you are working with a big enough bag, 4.6 is lovely. But just speaking to the masses here, like assuming a lot of people play this right, like 100 grand is not hard to pull out from these markets. It's not. And so if you got if you got 4.6 on 100 grand, what is that? $4,600. Let me check my math because I went to public school. $4,600 a year time divided by 12. I mean, it's an additional $383 a month. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. If I went outside tomorrow and I found $383, it'd be a pretty good day. Then the next month, if I found another $383, I'd be happy. And then the next month, and the next month, and like I would be genuinely happy about those kind of things. I would be genuinely happy about those kind of things. But I think if you're trying to, you know, and I know for a lot of times that when we talk about in DeFi, like, yeah, I want to get to a point where it's like I can just twiddle my thumbs and like not have to do anything. I think for most people, you got to put at least 3.5 up times 0.046, 161 divided by 12. That's an additional 13.4. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I can make 13.4 a month shake. I can do something with that, right? So to put that into a protocol and just get back a nominal 4.6% a year, that comes out to about 131 a year, 13.4 every month. I can do something about it. Yeah, we can make that work. I'll take that. I'd buy that for $1, right? Have you looked into prjcx.com? I haven't. I haven't. Glenn heard me talking. 3.5 was my number. I just, I remember being at the house one day, just kind of sitting down doing the math, and I said, I think for a lot of people, if you get to 2.5, 3.5, like that's kind of the sweet spot. Like I remember looking at, all right, where do I need to be at in order to do 50? Just 50 a month, just at home picking boogers. You know, where do I need to be? What is that? I think it's like 12, just north of 12. Someone fact check me on. I think it's just north of 12. About 12? About 12, yep. About 12. Steve, I like picking burgers. You get them under the nail, it's like they crispy, ready to come out. Hit you with one of those? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just serious. Fred said, we do the same numbers, Glenn. What does that tell you? What does that tell you, good sir? The old pick and flick. Yeah, like once you get to 12, I think 12 is like in a realm of 46 to 50,000, or yeah, 50,000 a month. Glenn, what would you do? I'd be at a crypto conference every month. I'm here, y'all. You know when you get them and they crispy. Look, I know I'm not the only one, damn it. You know when you get them and them boys is crispy. In case y'all didn't notice, you get to 50K a month. There's not a whole lot of things outside of your reach. There's not a whole lot of places on the planet you can't go. I don't know if y'all knew that. I don't know if you knew that. You get to 50 a month is like 50K a week is better. I'm going to be honest with you, Count. I don't know if I can spend 50K a week. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't have those kind of, it's summertime. Like, what do I really want? You know, y'all want to know what Glenn really wants? Here's what Glenn, like, it just swings. I need to figure out how to make one of those for adults because I want one. Give me a hammock, right? In the shade. Okay. I like barbecuing, so maybe I might splurge on another barbecue pit. Right? Might do a little upgrade. Kind of already got the vehicles I want. Kind of already got the jewelry I want for the most part. There might be like one or two more watches. I've been a lot of places. There's still a lot more places. I'd like to go. A lot more places I'm going to go. I do like architecture, so I could get a little crazy with the real estate, but I feel like that would be very short lived. Like the first piece of property I bought, I was 18. It was like raw land, just like vacant land, and like a lot of work can go into that. Because you're like, okay, you got it. Like, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to turn it into like commercial parking? Do you want to turn it into tree, like a tree farm, right? What do you want to do with it? So the more real estate you acquire, the more taxes, right? And it can't just be real estate that's just kind of sitting around, right? It's got to be producing cash. It's gotta it's gotta be producing cash. I'm only buying apartment complexes. Perfect. Let me put you up on game, right? So here's what I think. And you can tell me if this makes sense. I like having these conversations with y'all. Y'all can tell me if this makes sense. So you know how they're putting up a lot of these, at least in my neck of the woods, like uber fancy apartment complexes. I feel like if you are in the Midwest, I feel like there's a lot of these going up right now. Right. So if you're in the Midwest, I feel like there's a lot of super uber nice apartment buildings going up. Right. Vinizel says yes. Okay, cool. I'm not tripping. I'm not bugging. And I feel what is happening is the homes are getting knocked down to put up bigger homes, and so when you can't increase the size of the lot unless you like start to buy other people out. So if you already have a small footprint for a lot, right? You knock the house down, you put up a bigger house, you've kind of got to encroach on what land you do have. I feel like that takes away from your outdoor living spaces. So follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. I could see a trend happening where a lot of these malls that are going out of business, people start to move in and put like I don't know what you would call it, like luxury accommodations, not just like a gym, but like a gym with a pool and pickleball courts, and it's not like a sports club. Emphasis more on relaxing, but the same kind of relaxing you might do if you had enough land at home, right? Lady Long Times, I love that username. Lady Long Term says, "Yep, I manage one. People are not going to be able to afford to live." So, okay, boom. So I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. That's what happened with our malls out. That's what happening with our malls out here. Okay, cool. So I should probably do something with that because I feel like I just kind of plucked that out of thin air, and it seems like it's got some traction. Oh, Glenn with the ideas again. I feel like I should do something with that. So you see what I'm saying? Like when you knock down the houses, you put up bigger houses, and then the people who can afford those houses, they don't have a lot of backyard. You literally might have like a strip of backyard. Like if you're in the Midwest and you live on a double lot, you're royalty. Like your yard is big enough you could put up another house the same size, if not bigger, of the house that you're in now, if you got a double lot, oh my God, you're royalty. You're royalty. So I feel that with that happening, people are gonna start, yeah, we want accommodations, but we don't always want to be at the gym. We just want to go somewhere we can relax. And you will have community based amendment centers where people can just go to relax. Like I said, play pickleball, play basketball, but like without all the Rudy rah rah, but just like get some open runs going, have fun, pickleball, spa, massage, pool, hot tub, maybe a daycare, like that kind of thing, like a light gym, right? But not like a powerhouse or anything like that. 50,000 a month. The capital gains tax is what percent? So if I'm being honest, because you're not selling anything, it's taxed at your nominal rate as income. So think of stocks, dividends, right? When you get dividend payments from your stocks, it's just income. Which is why I tell people don't sell your crypto. Don't sell your crypto. Because the minute these banks is gonna be here, you're gonna be able to be like, hey, give me a little package deal, and I just wanna, give me the dividends. And they'll be able to do that. There was something else I wanted to show you. What was it? Oh dear. Let's go back to the friend with the galaxy. He's on fire. I don't know if y'all noticed, but that's what Fred's car is going to sound like after this bull run. I don't know if you know it. Fred going to be like, all right, y'all, we're going to go get a bite to eat. Man, y'all, they go Fred. He's on fire. Ferrari? Oh, come on, man. You know that's the Lambo with the Gentani exhaust. Come on now. I ever tell you about the time I took a ride with my friend's McLaren? He was going like 120, 150 on the freeway. Almost killed me. Did we talk about that? I feel like we talked about that. 154, that's what it was. I said, get me the fuck out this car. McLaren, those things are known to catch on fire. Let's see if you want to jump on the live stream. Did I watch the 500 or F1 races today? It wasn't an F1 race today. It was an Indy race. It was an Indy 500. I think NASCAR had a race too. It's something 600, right? I only trust myself behind the wheel over 100. Listen, if you've never baptized your car before, put a one in the chat. I want to see something. If you have baptized your car before, put a one in the chat. I want to see something. F1 was today? What the fuck? I'm just missing everything. Starks, what up, family? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. We got some Leadfoots in the house. For those of you that don't know, baptizing your car is when you get that bad boy into the triple digits for the first time. I remember the first time I went triple digits in the Buick. That boy was whistling. Rob, appreciate the heartbeat, man. Thank you so much, family. It's good to see you here. Yeah. My car stays baptized. I feel like you're not lying. I feel like you're not lying, Donovan. I feel like Donovan would be like, shit, 10 minutes till they turn the hot light off at Krispy Kreme. Not the LeSabre. Hey, listen. We supercharged over here, baby. We getting it. Getting it. VVV, that's all. Steve, are you still holding your lawn from VVV? Look at her. Hey, shit, that hot light do be going off. I got to get there. I used to have a plug at Krispy Kreme, man. She was nice, too. She was nice. Had a little southern accent. I had to, like, limit the amount of times I would go there just because I'm like, yo, too much glaze. I ain't trying to be 400 pounds. You know what I mean? Pen 1890 says, I drove my 2006 Nissan Altima in 3 Continents, Germany, Autobahn was fun. That's dope. Excuse me. What it cost you to ship it? What a time to be alive. Y'all know what we should do? Let me segue out of what we're talking about here with Ondo and tokenization for a quick second. Y'all know what we should do? The Glaze is something serious. Tar Heel, you're talking to the choir. You ever got a box of 16 and ate them yourself? Oh dear. Hey, Glenn, get a grip. Get a grip. Crypto car race. Houston, my boy, hear me out. I'm guilty of eating 12. They like Pringles, man. Once you start, you can't stop. You can't stop. What if we in the crypto space did a gumball rally? Y'all not about it. Y'all not about it. Y'all not about it. Y'all don't want to do that. Y'all don't want to do that. Y'all don't want to do that. They got a 24-hour one by me. I don't know if the one that's by me is 24 hours or not. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've been in. Come on. Come on, Houston. Come on. Come on. Showing up in an Astro van. Hey, listen. Right? Come on. A gumball run? Finish line, the Bitcoin conference? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Who do we have to talk to organize this? Like I'm Kendrick Lamar. Who do we have to talk to organize a gumball run? You see what I'm saying? We thinking like, because next year the conference is in Nashville. So we like Texas to Nashville? Pull up a map of the U.S. Pull up a map of the U.S. of A. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut, doo-doo-doo. I just took some of y'all back to elementary school with that one. Oh, my gosh. Come on. Which conference is in Tennessee next year? The Bitcoin conference. Late night with Whataburger? Come on. Hey, listen. Y'all about to call me fat, but this is a safe space. Don't judge me. Do not judge me. Since since we got back from the Bitcoin conference, I've only thought about Whataburger every single day. Me, Fred, Angel, Rebel, Stevie. We was in that bad boy deep. I think that was everybody. That's everybody, right? I think that was everybody. Yeah. If you ain't ever had Whataburger, oh my gosh. I texted my wife. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm eating Whataburger." She was like, was it In-N-Out or Whataburger? No, it was In-N-Out. Or was it Jack in the Box? It was In-N-Out. She was like, "Oh, you got to get the fries animal style." And I was like, "What fries?" She was like, "You didn't get fries?" I was like, "Them things been going for like the last 30 seconds." Out of there. The fries were so good. In-N-Out. Yeah, okay. I wasn't tripping. Yeah, I wasn't tripping. She was like, "You got to do them animal style." I was like, "They are gone." Oh my God, the burgers are fantastic. I've been trying to figure out like who in my local neck of the woods is close to that same style of burger. Haven't found one. Haven't found one. I'm gonna have to get some of my peoples on the West Coast to like overnight some food. Straight like that. I'll pay for shipping. I need it. I need it. Hold up, In-N-Out and Whataburger aren't the same. No, they're not the same. But okay, fuck it. Since we having a conversation, right? I'm gonna just give y'all the first-hand experience of how fat Glenn really is. Okay. So the last time I was in Texas, what'd I do? The missus and I, we went to In-N-Out Burger for the burger. We went to Whataburger for the shake. In-N-Out, Whataburger. There's another one. Jack in the Box for the fries. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we call that the Fat Man Shuffle. I got trays from everybody. It slapped. The shake from Whataburger, the burger from In-N-Out, the fries from Jack in the Box. Slapped. Whataburger and Trill Burger, Houston, best. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go back to Texas. This ain't Texas. This ain't Hold'em. In-N-Out slaps. I'm not gonna lie. In-N-Out has a really good burger. Curly season at Jack. Whoa. Time out. Give me a 20. Bring it back. What is curly season? What is that? Munchie box type shit. I don't even smoke. I have never smoked in my life. Burger King is fire. Burger King is cool, but it's like once you have In-N-Out burger, it's hard to go back. Protein style all day. What is protein style? What is protein style? All right, boom. So hear me out, right? If we start in Texas and we go to Tennessee, you know what I mean? Or if y'all really feeling about it, we start in Cali and we drive to Tennessee. I like Hava burgers. Y'all put me on game. I've never heard any of this stuff. Because even if we do like a little gumball, right? A gumball rally run, think of all the delectable delights we can hit on the way to the Bitcoin conference. Can we please do this? Oh, hell no. That's too much driving. I'll fly, bro. Would y'all want to do like a micro run? Oklahoma to Tennessee? We'll start like on the edge of Oklahoma and Arkansas, so it'd be like 1.5, 2 states. Fred, the Buckies! Yes! See, look, I like where your head's at. Yes, the Buckies. I'm going to buy Buckies out. I got to get some almonds, the brisket. I got to get a couple more hoodies. Got to get some Crocs if they have them. Pajama pants, right? Y'all don't understand, man. Get me a brisket, Tar Heel. You got to come on, man. Come on. We really need about 10 to 12 cars to really make this thing work. Come on, man. Get the blanket. Yes, I like where your head's at. There isn't a Bucky near us, Glenn, but road trip. Everybody get your permission slips signed. We are going on a trip. Got to get the skull from there. Evie, this is a family show. I do declare. Hey, yo. I do declare. This is a family show. Yes, I want the black one. Okay, is that Can I look that up on my internet, or is that something I should like look at incognito mode? I do declare it's crazy work. I do declare. All right, we're gonna look this up. This ain't Texas. Buckish. Bucke. E. Actually, no, I think it's just Bucees. Yeah, that sounds about right. My nearest Bucky's from me is by Dayton. Not crazy far away, but it's a little bit of a hike. So if I go to Bushes, and I say Black Skull, is that what you call it? You call it a Black Skull. Black Skull. Oh, whoa. They sell these? No way. Y'all ain't never. You'll never find. Bum, 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 bum. Chat, look at this. I don't even know what to make of this. Y'all see this? Can y'all see that? They got bedazzled skulls at Buckish. At Bushers. What's up, Arape Day? Good to see you here, fam. Hope you're doing all right. Wait. He says, yeah. He says, hell yeah, they do. You gotta, hold on, I gotta go back up. Gotta go back up. What's Art Hill say? He said, hell yeah, they do. You gotta ask for them. Well in VA. Oh, well in VA you do. I've never seen these. What is this? Like bedazzled a cow skull? What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that? Oh, it's about 400. YG 400. I don't even know what to do with that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You know what this looks like? Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up on chat. Let y'all see it. Coming in from Bushes. Bushes. And this ain't Texas. This ain't Hold'em. It's a legit bedazzled skull. There you go, right there. Right now. Put it over your fireplace or above your bed. Whoa. Evie, let me help you out with this, all right? I don't think you should hang things above your bed that have sharp, pointy horns. I just don't think that's a good idea. You know what I mean? I just don't think that. I don't think that's a good idea. Hold on, chat. Oh, chat is moving fast as all get out. Get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. Up to the base, up to the base, up to the base. Boom, boom, all right. Okay, then over the fireplace. I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, that's still kind of like eyes wide shut, right? We all off subject. I mean, just all kinds, right? All kinds. But I think. Let me see where we at, right? Let me see where we at. Let me see where we at. All right. So you're going after the rails, just to bring it back in and bring this thing home. You're going after the rails, okay? Target the ones that feed into some of the largest tokenizing platforms. We all derail for it, not just completely off the rails. Off the rails. But those are the ones that I would target. And the other thing is, and I was reading this from a not like a white paper, but just kind of like an executive summary, right? As the demand grows, some of the underlying tokens will just have positive price action because consumption of the token. Consumption of the token from, contracts being developed, I can understand. But consumption of the token just because of demand, that's always something that I'm worried about, right? Because you never know if they spent the majority of time loading up when the market was, like an October 10th kind of situation. So they know that this is where the market was going to go. So now they're just lying in wait. So I don't really want to base a decision too much off of that. I understand the premise, but just to try to keep things objective, I don't want to really think too far into it. Okay. But you can get 4.6, you can get 4.4, you can get 4.2, or sometimes simply holding an underlying asset, you're going to get far better appreciation out of that. So I think if you've been paying attention to, again, some of the information that's been presented here, and you see kind of the forest through the trees, you understand that tokenization is probably going to play a pretty significant role in the next, the next cycle. There's been a few plays that you've been given that you're like, okay, I can make something work with that. And you notice a lot that was on here wasn't anything that was like really brand super new. And I think especially sometimes you get in this situation, the best way to play it is to continue to follow up with some of the projects that have been here and continuously building versus like some of the newer stuff. Because sometimes the newer stuff is on a totally different timetable. At least that's just the way I see it. Charles says he comes to Dayton or Columbus from time to time. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not necessarily natty, but then again, what is? Era Payday, appreciate you sending a live. Thank you so much. So I think that would pretty much do it. Boom. Yep, that would do it for the slide. Okay. Um, let us open that thing up for people that have questions, right? Comments, concerns, things of that nature. But whenever you talk about opening, acquiring tokenization assets, how does retail capture value? That would be the information I would leave you with. Sensei says, "What are we trading?" I haven't looked at charts all day. I was too busy trying to compile this report and bring it, to y'all here tonight. But I'm really curious to see how tokenization does the next go around. I really am. Says I was muted for most of the live. Hastra, yep, definitely need to look at Hastra. CFG, what is CFG target? My market cap. Is it CFG? Centrifuge. Not surprised. I'm not surprised. I feel like Centrifuge just cuts you directly in. Yeah, so you guys did this crowdsourcing, right? You got it. You bought a hotel. You tokenized a hotel, and everyone who holds it gets a direct cut ROI from the hotel. You know? What do y'all think about that? Good stuff. Need a deeper dive on certain things? Was it presented pretty crystal clear? You got an idea? Starting to formulate a game plan? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Tario says he likes it. Appreciate that. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. I'll do another like this with the agentic stuff, man. This is aggressive buys on Sol, like for real. For real. The only gripe I have is at the market cap that it's at now, but I'm like, this could be one of those times where like maybe the market cap does jumping jacks because the demand is so high. Vinizel says time to formulate a game plan. Donovan says very informational or very knowledgeable. Cool, cool, cool. I was looking at like, why are y'all talking about tokenization so much? Like, what are y'all really talking about? And a lot of these conversations were based around stablecoins. I'm like, man, most people can't do anything regarding stablecoins. RWA go after the railroads? Yep, definitely go after the railroads. Be like Vanderbilt. Miss Evie was like, one rose for you. uh it's bigger than using stablecoins. It's gotta be, man. It's gotta be. And if the play is really just ROI, even if you said I want to park something somewhere and just set it and forget, like I said, you got Stretch, you got Alpha Ledger, you got, just two some of the highest that I've seen. Right, where you don't even have to worry about having exposure to the fluctuating market, which I think is going to be attractive for a lot of people. Be like Vanderbilt, not like the Vanderbilt heirs. That's right. Everyone's job here is to be like the Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Clay Frecks, right? All those people, the folks that built it for their family, and then worry about it in 2-3 generations when your heirs and your descendants piss it all away. Houston Hayes says stablecoins are so that China economy can buy the bonds to pay off the debt. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're trying to blow up stablecoins because, like, man, China's not really buying our debt the way that they used to. Live and trust everyone. Hey now. You might want to screenshot that. So if there were like 2 or 3 major topics talked about at consensus, you had tokenization, you had agentic AI, right? That could be another narrative. I don't think the agentic stuff is going to be as big as tokenization. I really don't. I think tokenization is just going to catch a lot of people off guard. What'd I do? And Low 17 says, what are the cons you see with a project like Stretch? What are some of the cons that I see with Stretch? One of the cons, just the same risk that you get with a lot of different investments, loss of principal, right? Bad timing, market goes through a huge shudder. The timing in terms of when you get into asset is just off, and there's a major downtrend in the market, and if it's bad enough, then that can kind of affect stretch. But a lot of these are kind of engineered to absorb some of the volatility in the market. A lot of them are like over collateralized, right? Which is how that's one engine that they're able to work. What you say? You mentioned the one rose, but gave Fred the credit for the galaxy I sent earlier. Oh, my my bad. Damn, I ain't know. My bad. Miss Evie with the galaxy. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Evie with the galaxy. Whoa, hold on, wait. I haven't got this for you. Hold on, wait. She's on fire. I didn't know that was you. My bad. I didn't know. I didn't know. The problem is Fred just being here going crazy. So naturally, when I see something blue outside my peripheral, I automatically attribute it to Fred. Right? If you start going crazy in here, then I might be like, oh, damn, wait, is that Fred? Is that Miss Evie? You never know because maybe they both going crazy. So I got to go back over there and look, check, see who sent it so I can make sure I can get it right. I was muted right when I said, how are you getting muted? I guess I sent too many galaxies. Never, never, never. There's never a such thing as too many galaxies. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. When I came to TikTok, if I was like if I saw people I rock with, I would just blow like how you are. I was just blowing people's lives up. Me sleeps. God, who else? Mike X, right? Oh, too legit, right? We're going crazy. Angel kept muting me. Fred with the galaxy. Can you dig it, sucker? Hold on. One day Jay said, what'd he say? What did he say? No 007 tonight? Come on, sir. Come on, sir. I'm not gonna lie, the 007 pause music makes me want to track down a pair of xylophones and just practice all summer, try to get that melody down. Boom, doom, 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 doom. The Rock says, know your role. Old rock music goes crazy. I got a couple more I got to put on here. Like I think I'm gonna get rid of what is this one? No, that one's gonna stay. That one's gonna stay. What is this one? No, that one's gonna stay. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. I gotta edit that one because I'm not doing that promo anymore. We got some different promos coming up, y'all. Matter of fact, looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. We got to give away the other treasure, right? Donovan won the one last year. Donovan won the one yesterday. If you want to win a treasure, y'all want to do another treasure giveaway? Put one in the chat. We'll do a treasure giveaway. Who wants to win a treasure? Boom. One. All right, cool. Let's do this. To make sure there's no funny business, pen, paper, jotting down a number. A number between 1 and 100. What do I want the number to be? Pen. Down. Envelope. Down. First person to guess the number. First person to guess the number. A number between 1 and 100 is going to win a treasure. I'm looking. Hold on, let me move this chat over here so y'all know it's no funny business. Damn, this chat is moving. Hold on. Jesus Christ. I don't see it not yet. I don't see it not. How Penn gonna put 2 numbers in? Come on, Penn. Penn's like, I'm putting 2 numbers. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing, not yet. Damn. No, not yet. And like 1 in 100. Nothing, not yet. Damn, this is a good number. I think y'all had both of them figured out yesterday by this time. No. Oh, someone was close. Y'all getting close. Oh, man. Is anybody going to get it? No. Nope. God damn. I like this one. I'll be just going to put 2 numbers. Like, what are y'all doing? I can't believe nobody's got this yet. This is crazy. This is crazy. Y'all see me on the screen. I'm not engaging in any funny business. $28, no. $29, no. $100, no. $42, no. Oh, Miss Evie got it. Stop playing. Hold on. Wait, I'm gonna pause it right here, right? Y'all see Miss Evie with 43. I'm gonna pick this up. Hold on, just so y'all know it ain't no funny business. 43 right there. 43. Oh, Evie, you finally won something. I feel like on a lot of these giveaways you get close. But you never win. Today's your lucky day. Stars in the chat for Evie. Hey. Evie, you finally won. You finally won. Donovan was close. I think Donovan was like 42. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. Donovan was close. I think Donovan was like 42, and then he came back with like 45. I was like, see my screen? What the fuck? Excuse me, I gotta keep scrolling down. Damn, where chat at? Dubs in the chat for Evie. Bam, 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 bam. Strippers. French strippers. Speaking of, I'm mad I want to go to Spearmint Rhino in Vegas. I'm actually rather upset about that. Rather upset y'all don't want to go to Spearmint Rhino in Vegas. My girlfriend was guessing the whole time. She's good. She's really, really good. All right, so I got two that's got to go out here. Just so y'all know it's no shenanigans. We got one that's got to go to Donovan. We got another one that's got to go to Miss Evie. They are still clearly wrapped up. No funny business. Security tape is still right where it needs to be. Solo, appreciation that heart me, sir. Thank you. Good to see y'all here, man. I like rocking with y'all, man. This is fun. This is fun. So, dubs in the chat for Donovan and Evie. Y'all got a couple of treasures coming y'all way. When I get them in the mail, I'm going to try to get them put in either. Can't do it tomorrow. It's a holiday. We'll try to get it done Tuesday. And I'll let y'all know whenever it's going out. Hobo had 43. Rob Bob had 43. Did he really? If he had 43 before Evie had her 43, we'll make it right. I'll get him out something. We'll make it right. Timmy! Hey, 3 was a good one. I was actually thinking about 3. How fun. Oh, yeah. That would have been a good one. I see Rob Bob at 28, 26, 25. Look at Remy and Angel both coming in with 52. Damn. 24, 51, 3. Angel's like, let me just check off all the 50s. Let me just go through 50. Rob Bob 50. Rob Bob 49, 48, 47, 46. Rob Bob was literally going through all of the 40s. 44. Okay, 43. There's Rob Bob at 43. I think, let's see if we find EV higher. Can we get much higher? Yeah, so if Rob Bob was down here at 43, there he is right there at 43. I remember seeing Fred's comment of strippers after I said Evie was a winner. Yeah, V-Nizzle says Angel had 43 before Rob Bob. I thought that's the way. Yeah. Oh, shit. Angel had 43 too. Ruh-roh. Oh, dear. Hold on. Where you at, Evie? I'm trying to find the damn Panda PFP. $45. Miss Evie. 43. Yep. Okay, cool. We did it, and it's all on the screen. Yeah, so Evie had 43 before Angel and before Rob Bob. But, hey, some good guessing. I guess if you go through all the numbers, you're going to get them. And like I said, 43 too. Say what? Do you smell what the Glen is cooking? Doom, 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 doom. Okay, so that was before we started. It was after the panda chick. It's after Evie, the panda chick. Did I ever tell you? All right, so look, fun fact of the day, right? One day I was on Evie's profile, and she had the filter with like the panda ears. I saw the filter so much on her page. I was like, damn, maybe subconscious. I was like, damn, maybe that's really just where her ears are at. Like, she's not fucking human. Like, what? What's going on? What's going on? All right, Evie, winner, chicken dinner. Now listen, if you put XRP on this wallet, Evie, I swear for Jesus, I will repo this hardware device from you. All right. Send the Addy PO box, right? Whatever you're comfortable with, and we'll get it sent out. Send it to Inlock. It's his birthday. We got a couple birthdays here. I thought Donovan said it was his birthday earlier. Said LOL the jokes. I mean, come on. You had the panda ears for so long. You had the panda ears for so long. I'm like, no. Put a one in the chat if you've actually seen Evie before. Watch this. Put a 2 in the chat if you've never seen Evie. Oh shit. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Two. Goddamn chat moving. Two. She'd be like, Glenn, you have seen me before. I have never seen you, Evie. Never. Never on a live. Like never, ever. Why are you so obsessed with me? Hides behind the filter. And they be the ears, they be moving like independently. Evie, just come up. Just come up. Just come up. Face reveal. Said ain't your mama. Oh my gosh. Wild. Why you so obsessed with me? As everybody knows. Leave her alone. Pandas be pandaing. Oh my god. She said she comes to the Bitcoin. Shit. 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 I'll believe that when I see it. I'll believe that when I see it. What is on my blanket? What is this? No idea. Yeah, look, she's never coming out. I would think Evie might be a hypochondriac, y'all. We might have to go. Where she live at? Oregon? Little Panda walking around the BTC conference. Could you imagine, Steve? Could you imagine? Probably gonna have a little panda backpack too. Could you imagine? Bruh. Where I say Oregon? What the fuck? What? Oregon? Or really? This is bullying. How did I get Oregon from Plano, Texas? Bring Uncle Ben with you too. Who is Uncle Ben? Oh, ain't your mama? Ha ha ha. The rice guy. So I'm talking about some good evening. So I'm asking me a question. How often have you thought about that McAllen since being back? No. Where'd you send them? I lied. Got them right. Oh. Hey now. Hey, you've been busy. You've been busy. Damn. Uh, wait a goddamn minute. How we gotta have a powwow. We gotta have a pow. How did you? I want one. I want one. Yo, TikTok. I want to share, but there's just some things. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's crazy. Like my phone didn't ring or anything. How? The R-rated superstar. Y'all, listen, man. All right. So, fun fact about Glenn: he is qualified for up to 500 yards without optics, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. IYK. How the is this a? Okay, that's the 55, right? I'm with you. I'm with you. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so this is different, right? Because I always thought you would be a beaver tail man. I thought you would be a beaver tail man. How big is the target though? About like that, right? Belly button and sternum. Fred, no, 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 no. This is I feel like I'm playing charades. First word sounds like um. You know when you bite into an apple and it's sour, like a green apple and it's sour. I see that. Load time, unload time from transport is you got to be at least like 5, 7, maybe 10 minutes on the high side, right? Um, the Jolly Green Giant, 308. I think it's a 308. Yeah, it's Remy. Yeah, Remy. Remy. Yeah. Remy's like green apple. I already know. I already know. I think, I think I know which one's your favorite. I think I know which one's your favorite. Is it the one that's made in Turkey? Thanksgiving, gobble gobble. Oh, that son of a bitch is hard. Mm-hmm. That's my speed right there. What is the old girl? How could I describe that? It's very tactical. I'll say that. On the side. What is that? What is this? Oh, is that a different TTI is nice. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like how you can see the twist on it. Yeah, we definitely have to have a powwow because I have questions. I'm gonna have to look at some Canic, man. You just put one on my radar. Why the side? um, what's hard? Why the silence? Oh, 168. They whistling. They whistling. One each. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, okay. I'm on the little cousin of that one. Chambered in both. IYK. Chambered in both. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. What's up, Focus? I did. Hey, listen. I did not know. I did not know you were a man of culture. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got lots to talk about. We got lots to talk about. I did not know you. There's a couple of us in here, right? Okay. Yeah. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. If only there were a way to bring like center an event, excuse me, around like that with one of the conferences. Super dope. That would be super super dope. Am I looking for an assistant? Yes, at these conferences. Yep. Yep. That would be off the chain, literally. Literally. Like Clay or Pigeon, but with like cryptos. Pull. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, this cannon kinda hard. Is it Canick or Can Ick? Man, y'all about to make me want to go shopping. Damn it, Solemn. Damn it. That's when my phone didn't ring. It's like, Glenn, you don't need to spend no more money. I need it. Listen, man, cars and this stuff right here, expensive habit. Yeah, you could make the clay pigeons represent the tokens. Yeah, for sure. Start a new collection. I already have a 1903 eighth. Where the fuck did you get that? It's a whole lot of people of culture in this chat. Chat, y'all are all right with me, man. Y'all are. Where the fuck did you get that? Oh man, I wish I could go down the shopping list, right? But as soon as I do, TikTok's gonna be like, nope. Not the SpongeBob quote. I need it. I do. Listen, listen. I have been in the market for like a beaver tail that you don't really come across all that often. Fastest way. Fastest way. Yeah. Freedom. Get you some freedom tokens. Get you some freedom tokens. Why you biting your lips like that? I bite my lip when I get excited, right? And right now we are having a chat. Um, yeah, yep. G's and butter, baby. G's and butter. G's and butter. Yeah, I need a beaver tail, man. I need a beaver tail. Anything three? Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. For real, trying to reach out and touch somebody. Reach out and touch somebody. No MCI. No MCI. A lot of men of culture. A lot of men of culture in the chat tonight. Two. Why do you need two, sir? Sir, sir. Why do you need two? That's the real question. Jay, like I need 18. Okay. Yeah. Type shit. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Are we gonna talk about what? No, that would defeat the purpose now, wouldn't it? That's a surprise that might help us out later. Put one in the chat. You think Evie rocking the Saturday night special? Down. Jay, you giving warnings with those? I don't come to play games. Oh my gosh. I come to knock a motherfucker down. I ain't coming to play no games. I got one. The box of freedom tokens is like $67. Do with that information what you will. I knew I liked y'all. My coach is a G. What do you got y'all training? What was the last like module y'all changed on QCB? Man, y'all ain't know some damn hitters in the house tonight, man. Literally. I've been stacking my freedom tokens since Sandy Hook. Yeah, I started accumulating how long have I been accumulating freedom tokens? What was a big event? Wait, when was that event? About that same time. About that same time. Some of the tokens they don't even make anymore. Listen, I got man, I bought a specific one in general, right? And I'm thinking, oh, this might come in handy like if the bull run ever comes back. Nope. Nope. Got it. Just sitting on it. Can't do nothing with them. What time the Asian markets start? Oh, I think they were like at 8. I might be the wrong person to ask. Asian markets. 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. I was the right person to ask. Hornady. Hornady makes some pretty cool stuff. Asian food sounds bomb right now. I want some tacos. It's 12:45 in the morning and I want some tacos. Y'all ever been there? I'm here right now. Red tip? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Plus P. Barilla tacos. Am I any trades? Actually, not right now, but if you want to get into some gangster stuff, we can definitely. Actually, I was going to say we could pull up the charts, but tomorrow in the morning is Memorial Day, and I don't think the market's going to be open, which means volume is probably going to be pretty low. Pretty low. I like it all. I'd have seen it all. 2020 Pyrex vision. And my rollie ain't ticking out ball. I done seen it all. NQ made an all-time high again tonight. You know what I'd like to find? A tokenized version of NQ. Can we figure that out? What was NQ on tonight? Big Nate. Appreciate the Harmony family. Good to see you here, my guy. Said chicken, 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 chicken. Y'all want to listen? I had some fried chicken tonight for the first time in that long. It was so effing good. Oh my god, it was so good. Bybit? No, there's no way Bybit has NQ. Say swear. Nate, I'm about to put you on my Christmas list, dude. I'm about to put you on my Christmas list. I have been looking for NQ since me, you, Sleeps, and the rest of the cats was having to talk about stock trades, and y'all were going on about the value the evals. Because there's sometimes where crypto is just a little flat, and you're like, let me trade something that's got a little bit more liquidity to it, and I could not find any NQ stuff. Bybit has them off. We just talked about this tokenized assets. Boom, there you go. There you go. Why is everything dumping so bad? It wasn't the last time I looked at it. Cause I'll be your groovy baby. Arrows up. I don't think the market's really tanking though. I mean, you got stuff that's almost up about 1%. You know, volume coming down right now. I think the big picture is we got a carrier strike group that's approaching Cuba at a very rapid pace. Then the market doesn't know what to do about this peace talk deal with Iran. First it's on, then it's off. Then we're bringing the peace talks back to Iran. Then we're bringing the peace talks. Then the peace talks are back off of Iran. It's too much uncertainty. The market doesn't like it. Where do you see Arrow going to? There's a meeting in my bedroom. Where do I see Arrow going? 46. If volume persists, 46. Here's why I say that. We got a nice little bumpity bump off this 200. Now I'm on the 1 hour. And if this 50 comes up and curls over this 20, it's going to take out that little area right over there. Right now, it's going to take out that area. Wrong arrow, Glenn. What? What you mean? We talking about aerodrome? Oh. Y'all never just have random songs pop in your head? I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Because maybe this comes down here and forms a little inverse head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder head could potentially be a right shoulder, and then boom, back up to 46 we go. 877 cash now all the time, more than I actually care to admit. More than I care to admit. So girl, don't keep me waiting. 888. Lena. Linnea? I ain't looked at Linnea in a fucking minute. Let's take a look at it, mate. Damn. Ooh. How you do that there? Can you do that there? Easy. I be moving in the night when they can't see me. I'm gonna be honest with you. There is no liquidity here, my man. There is no. Yeah, come on, Silk. Come on, man. Men of culture in the chat this evening. Travis Scott, women of culture in the building this evening. Come on now, how you do that there? Yeah, there's no liquidity here. If I'm on the 1 hour and the chart looks like this, it's not good. It's not good. Matter of fact, just to make sure I'm not a liar, let's go here. Said, ooh, that Travis Scott, huh? Just come outside for the night. Hey. EA Sports. It's in the game. Am I tripping? Why is Linnea not popping up? Did I spell that wrong? L-I-N. What the fuck? There we go. 13 million volume over the last 24 hours. I need a comparison. Mm, Let me look at something like, I don't know, Cardano. Yeah, Cardano's got $280 million worth of volume, and Cardano's absolutely cheeks. Canton, 21 million, 21. How about time? 187. Huh. I'm surprised Canton has such little volume. How about Sheep? 67. Sheep's volume is down 20% in the last 24 hours. That might be a shorting opportunity. Believe me. You don't know how to spell. Yeah, no, listen. Fun fact of the day, I'm like the world's worst speller. If you ever get into a bind where someone's like, spell this word, I'm going to blow your brains out, do not call Glenn because, ooh, I will have to give you a eulogy. Believe me. Linea, yeah, Linea's got no volume on that hourly. 4 hour, it's a little better. Want to show you something else? See how that like gapped up like that? Normally speaking, we don't gap up like that on a 4 hour, right? So if it opened here and it closed here, the next one should be right there. The fact that Linea is gapping on the 4 hour, that tells me there's not a lot of liquidity there. So even if you guess the move right, your order might not get filled. It doesn't look good. What if it's like a little bit of liquidity sweep to maybe push back up here to the 50 moving average at around 0.0032? I don't know if you're going to get that move tomorrow just because with it being the holiday, I feel like volume's going to be a little lacking. What up, Technically Web3? Good to see you here, fam. Your thoughts on the OG memes like Pepe? Ooh, I think it's a rap ski for memes. And I could be totally wrong. Call 1-877 cash now. Like I'm gonna oh gee, take on stacks, need it. Bitcoin layer 2, DeFi, need it. I like it. I like the perspectives. I like the use case. Why do you think it's a wrap for memes? I just think market participant exhaustion is going to set in when it comes to a lot of memes. Memes aren't dying. Trapping ain't dead. When he said memes aren't dying, I immediately heard trapping ain't dead. Trapping ain't dead. False. False, Glenn. That's wrong. Oh my gosh, the Cars for Kid. Holy cow. They play that in Canada? 1-877 Cars for Kids. I thought it was just like a regional thing. That's crazy. I feel like memes are dying. I feel like they're dying. I feel like they're dying. Or maybe I'm just extremely biased because I lost my life savings on 89.53. Oh, you heard it out in New York? Okay. Yeah. Attention is currency and memes are attention markets. How, what can I say? Like, how, in the absence, right? Like they might have a little bit of a time now, but I think if overall, I don't know, like the shelf life just isn't long. Look at Avengers. Look at 8359 or whatever it was called. iBoy, is this a new one? Not a new one? iBoy? Boy. 2983. What was it called? 20 something 83. 2583. How long is the average attention span? Oh, like if you're talking the news, like, okay, right. So in the news, a news cycle is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Crypto, a meme. If you get it a week, if you get a week out of it, like it's a blessing. And then we're talking about the average DJ. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the average DJ, and they're always looking for the next fix. Like after Angel's promoting that pump and dump, 2953, 2983, whatever it was, 23, 20, 23 and me. Fuck is the name of that crypto? 2583, I think it was. It was good, right? You was good for like 4 days. I don't think it made it to a week and a half. Then Avengers came out, and as quickly as I heard 5 people talking about they made money on Avengers, I haven't heard anything from it. Your fault you didn't sell. I would not have been 23 and me. That was the name of it, 23 and me, 2583. 2583, 25 and me. Janet Jackson want to know what we gonna be? Lakers in 5. It has $709 of liquidity. Fucking stop it. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Y'all, Angel got our money. She got our money. She got our money and she bought Lululemon activity wear with it. Gold, sell now, take profit. Link in bio. Do you know what else is in the link in the bio? The next profile you're going to have to come back with, cuz he out of there. Teach you to spam in my life, sir. Activity wear. When you giving me gift cards, I probably got one around here somewhere. I'm about to buy me some trousers. Because I hear Lululemon's trousers are to die for. I had one in my car. And now it's gone. I think a member of the fair sex went in and stole my Lululemon gift card. I think I got. Lost all my money. Bro, listen, I haven't had like a decent meal in like a week and a half. I'll never financially recover from the loss that I sustained on 2583. Never. I will never financially recover. I put a whole Bitcoin in there. Gone. Angel got my Bitcoin. Fred, I will never financially recover. Like, because of that, I can't even get to the next handful of conferences. Like, I need a monstrous trade on Tuesday. What did you have in it? I had so much that I will never financially recover. I have to sell my body now to all women. I had to activate my old TikTok account, Sweet Peter Jeter. I'm over here hooking on TikTok. I'll give you the meme next time. No, you won't. What she said in the live the other day? I'm gonna give my top gifters the inside track to the next meme. Fred and I sitting there looking like, damn, we be throwing gifts on the line. Ain't that a bitch? She clipped us. Trans, she got our bread. She got our bread. She stole the BTC, ran off on a plug twice. Miss Evie with the heart. Thank you. Ran off on the plug twice. Me and Fred had to form a support group. www.gotbyangel.com. Carter, what up, Pippin? Good to see you, family. Where you been? Where you been? Miss Evie with the Go Populars. And look, no matter what stock or crypto you buy, you are ex liquidity. Nah, because I normally win the majority of my trades, but when I come into meme coins where I have no control over what's going on, she bundled the shit out of that, gave you the alpha, yep, and then dipped on us. Ran off on the plug twice. $100K gone in 25.83. That's why when I came on live the other night, she was like, "You in the same hoodie?" I can't afford to do laundry. Can't afford to do laundry. Let me run my fingers through your hair. Gone. I can't afford soap. I was gonna get an African scrub net. Can't even afford one of those. I'm broke. We can do it anywhere. I can love you in the shower. Both of our bodies dripping wet. It's crazy how like you will read something and it will take you back to a song lyric. Who let me say water shut up. Y'all know those giant water jugs that y'all get from the Cullinan man? Yeah, I got one of those. I gotta boil it just to get like bath water. It's crazy. 25.83 got my ass. I'm sleeping in the Buick. He said I'm good for doing that. Yeah, so one of y'all were talking about hairs or something. Like you worked at Lehman Brothers. Y'all know what shirt I want? And Christmas is coming up. I wear a large. Extra large if I'm bulking, right? I want a shirt that says Lehman Brothers Risk Management Department. I need that shit. I need it. Yusuf says 2024, Glenn. What about 2024? And then I need a hat that says FTX Risk Management Department. Because I lost all my money in 25.83. So now I got to go back into the job market. I'm going to say I was head risk compliance officer at FTX. Just use that washcloth? I can't because I thought about getting the African soap net, right? So I got rid of all my washcloths, and now I can't even afford a African sponge net. Crazy. But what I was saying was I was reading one of y'all comments, and someone said bundles or something in hair, and it took me back to that old 112 song with Lil Zane. Let me run my fingers through your hair. Use your hand like me. You gotta get like me. Rocking the Dubai Rollie. No, I had to sell my real one, man. This is a replica. I put all my money into 2583 and it got rugged. I'm poor now. No, let me stop for somebody starts believing that. Yeah, it's the same one I had in Dubai. Which y'all, what do you think? Should we go back to blockchain life 2026 in Dubai? Should we do that? That might be kind of lit. I'll go. Y'all not going. You're not going. Evie's not going. Like Evie is afraid of Dubai, and I have no idea why. I'm surprised you went to consensus. Saw you at consensus was legit shocked. Like, well, what? Wait, what? You would go now? Yeah, I mean, I think it's in October. Yeah, because I thought you were mostly just like regional, right? Like if the event isn't on the West Coast, Southwest, you're not going. And to see you walking around Miami, I'm like, what? Say what? Had a second chance in something and wanted to get it. Oh, okay, okay. Inquiring minds want to know. Did I lose out on Terra Luna? No, 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 no. So I never got into Luna. I never got into Luna because around the same time Luna was coming out, it was like the new shiny thing, and I remember getting into Substratum and Funfair the cycle before, and how those shits didn't come back. And I remember looking at Luna, and Luna was like, "Yeah, we've got this algorithmic stablecoin." And I said, "You know what? Nope. I just feel like it's kind of sketch." And I remember being outside. I was going for a walk while I was at work, and my phone just starts blowing up, and it's like Terra Luna has crashed. Terra Luna has crashed. I'm like, Terra Luna, like Luna, what the fuck is Luna? I'm like, oh, Terra Luna with the algorithmic stablecoin. All bad. Evie says, yeah, I won't go to the Middle East. It's not even bad. They got really good food. The people are super nice. You go to the mall, like the people, like everywhere you go is beautiful. Like the stores don't even look real. And you go in and people like actually greet you and make you feel good about engaging in commerce. It's, in the United States, you go into some place and it's like they act like you're bothering them. Don't worry, I'll get this pair of jeans from somewhere else. Don't worry about it. Not everyone has money to travel. I know you have money to travel, eh? You are a rich Nigerian. Do not sit here and play the funkin' like you are not. We know you are getting to the bag, Angel. Oh? Yeah. We know you touching paper. Yeah, why is she lying? Why is she lying? Evie got more money than Jesus Christ, and she'll never be at any conference. It's crazy. Broke as fuck. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. You're savagely. Where you been at? Where you been at, sir? You mess with Crypto Wendy? Okay, so like when you say Crypto Wendy, you got to be more specific because I was on a live. There was a Crypto Wendy O who I thought was the other Crypto Wendy O, but it wasn't the same Crypto Wendy O. And I'm like, how are you going to be Crypto Wendy O? And there's another Crypto Wendy O. So when people say Crypto Wendy, like which one? Wendy, that's what I'm saying. There's two Wendy O's. Oh, it's Wee Woo. Just out to rebuilding. I feel that. I feel that. Sometimes we got to do that. Purple Girl. Who's Purple Girl? Are we looking at shorting right now? No, not right now. I feel like the market's kind of moving. Fet's up 3, dots up 1. Scott a dog with a heart. Me appreciate you, sir. Good to see you here. The Wendio. Who? Okay, which one is the Wendio? The one with like the long face? That sounds bad, but I don't know any other way to describe her. Like, I don't know. Handle me? Who gonna handle me? Says you are. What? What? My bad. Dang. Spooky eyes. No, and I'm gonna tell you why. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna show you. I'm just gonna show you. I handle me. Who gonna handle me? I have no idea why I have Meg Thee Stallion in my mind right now. Handle me. Who gonna handle me? Folks, Crypto Glenn, YouTube channel. Subscribe. I've been stuck on 5.94K for I don't know how long, trying to get to 100,000. Lofty goal, but I know with your help it can be done. Help your boy out. Subscribe to the channel. Watch some videos. Even if you play them, just let them, white noise in the background. Greatly appreciate it. Glenn, mess. As fuck. No. I just got to keep it a bean. You know what I mean? I just got to be me. 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 Where is the video that turned me off to Crypto Wendio? I did a review of the Me token. They did not like my review of medieval empires. But real fast. Oh, okay. Where are we at with medieval empires? 0.0002. Oh, okay. Back to the subject at hand. Wendio. She did a video. There it is. 5 years ago. Crypto Wendio, Bleeding Crypto, promote Too Good to Be True DeFi project.
There's a couple things I like to do. I like to just constantly remind you guys of being cautious of where you're getting your information from. We've been in somewhat of a bull run over the last couple of weeks, the last couple of maybe month and a half. And if it's one thing that we know, as this market appreciates in value, more and more scams and bad actors are going to come out.
More and more scams and bad actors
to try and get your hard-earned crypto. So I like doing these videos when something comes.
So she was on her live. This was what year was it? 5 years ago? I went to public schools. What's 6 minus 5? 1? 2021? LeBron James? No. It's 2021. She's on her live with Bleeding Crypto, and they're promoting some project where it's just like super sketchy. Super sketchy. I'll let y'all listen to it.
And I also understand that she wants to be entertaining for her audience. I get that. But I also think that when you sit behind the mic like many of us do in the crypto space, you have a duty, maybe even a fiduciary duty, to make sure that you're not getting any false information to your viewing audience. You definitely want to make sure that you're not sending them into the lion's den to absolutely get wrecked.
Yeah, don't do that.
In her cast, she had Bleeding Crypto. I believe this guy runs a paid Discord. Again, something I'm always super weary about, because, it just says, hey, give me your money and I'll provide you with information. I think these people like to think that most people aren't smart enough to actually go do their own due diligence to try and find decent projects. But anyway, this guy is on the Crypto Wendy show, And he's getting ready to tell people about this new project that's showing up on Binance Smart Chain. And I understand why a lot of people are using Binance Smart Chain right now. The prices of Ethereum, gas are higher than, I won't say what they're higher than, but they're pretty high. And it's turning a lot of users off, and because of that, it's causing a lot of developers to migrate from Ethereum over to Binance Smart Chain. And really the quality of a lot of these projects reminds me of what was going on with Tron back after they had their main. Let me ask you a question.
Every 8 hours in this box is my reward. So in the next 12 minutes and 49 seconds, I'm going to get my 8-hour reward.
Bolt Dollar was the name of the project.
$1,000 every 8 hours.
What?
Every 8 hours, I make $1,000.
Look at her. What? Come on, Wendy. You don't think that sounds too good to be true? Every 8 hours?
Every day. And here, that's...
Let me ask you a question. Does that sound like that is sustainable to you all?
Nope.
Because it sure as hell doesn't sound like it's sustainable to me. Unless this guy is some well and a platform can afford to pay him and only him out in that amount of, value per every 8 hours. Say there's like 27, 100. Say there's 1,000 people that all have about the same amount that he does. That's a lot of money going out the window. And if it's me, that tells me that in order to continue to replenish that coffer, new money has to keep coming in. So this is the warning that I want to share with everyone who's getting into DeFi. These promises of paying you a very alluring high APY to attract you, these things are not sustainable. And they only work for the vast minority, not majority, but the vast minority of people that get in very, very early on.
Spooky eyes, though.
Every 8 hours, I get a 3% raise. It increases another 3%, another 3%, and another 3%.
How can that be? I don't want to go on playing the video too much because I want to get in trouble for copyright purposes. But also it
was some bull. It was some bull. So I remember looking this up. Bolt Dollar was the name of the project. And I was like, oh, in a month, this won't even be a thing. You can't even find this thing today. Today, it's gone. MIA. Missing in action. Gone. People put money into this thing and they never got it back out. So like me when it come to 8523, whatever that project was. Bolt Dollar. So when people ask me, Glenn, how do you feel about Wendy O? I feel like there's a lot of questionable people that do questionable things, and in this space, she might be on that list. Now, it has been a little while since I've consumed some of her content, but this right here, man, left a very, very, very bad taste in my mouth. Wasn't fucking with it. Because I just don't like, how you going to lead your audience to like the gulag like that, though? It's terrible. Terrible. But yeah, if y'all want to watch that video in its entirety, it's on the YouTube channel. And if you want to go back and do your homework on the project that I'm talking about, it's all right there documented. Black Digital Wall Street. Your guess is as good as mine, Nizzle. On TikTok, right? On TikTok? Black Digital Wall Street. Let me look at that. Black Digital Wall Street. Hold that thought. Yeah, on TikTok. Yeah. Okay, so fun fact of the day: the last time I was in there, what did he say? Oh, he said it was about a stable coin. It was about Tether. What did he say? He said Tether was American, like Tether was American or something like that. He said Tether was American, it was American backed. I said, where's Tether's offices at? He gonna say, oh, you got the IQ of a wet bologna sandwich. I think he's always telling somebody they got the IQ of a wet bologna sandwich, right? And so I'm just like, I understand you may not like Tether, but to say that they're a U.S. based company might not actually be legitimate. Like, where are they based out of? And I know this because I've gone through and I've done the research on Tether for a number of years. And so the thing that I thought was interesting is like whenever you get into a disagreement with folks, especially like the older heads, they don't like that shit. Especially when you can prove it. Yeah, I mean, especially when you can prove it. Because what that says is, oh, I got on here, I said something I shouldn't have said, you about to prove me wrong. Instead of just being like, okay, yeah, you right, my bad, and then just move. Instead of just like moving on, they can't handle it. They can't handle it. What's up, Crypto Wolf AI? Good to see you here, family. Yeah, Fred, he'd be like, oh, you got the IQ of a wet bologna sandwich. And I'm just like, all right, here you got an old dog stuck in his ways. And you're not going to make it, bro. You're not going to make it. He flaming people like, yeah. People come in, he'll be like, and all y'all buying XRP, you got the IQ of a wet bologna sandwich. Like, why are you buying that damn coin? Like, it ain't did nothing. I'm like, okay, cool on that one. I kind of agree with you on, but like again, the conversation is been elevated. We got bigger things to focus on. Crypto Wolf AI with the heart me, man. Thank you so much. Something always appear faulty watching him. And it's yeah. Yo, yeah. What time this girl came on? And what was she saying? She's basically kind of like giving him the origin story back behind like Solana. And I think he was like, Solana's proof of mechanism is proof of bullshit. And she was like, no, it's actually like proof of time, like proof of history. And he cut into her. You got the IQ of a wet bologna sandwich. And I'm just like, she's right. It's proof of time, proof of history, or whatever they call it. And like, if you do not agree with him, he will be like, I don't come in your live and I don't tell you what the matter of fact, you're blocked. Get out of here. And I'm just like, all right. Say my God, but he will clock on you. He'll try. It works better if he's actually right about something. But if he's not right about it, mm-mm. 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 I'm just like, bro, like what? What are we doing? Do you want to be right or do you want to make some money? Be snapping on folks. Snapping on folks. Yeah, I'm just like, I get that you don't like Tether, but that doesn't mean Tether is doing anything wrong. That doesn't mean Tether's an American company. I'm like, Tether's not an American company, bro. Let me just look that up. Actually, you know what? I might I wonder. So somebody I know, they gave me this really cool tool. And if you go live enough, I can like pull the old live. Like it'll scrape the API data or it'll scrape the metadata and it'll generate the video. I don't know, but you got to have like a certain number of like attention going to your profile. I don't know if his does. I can try. What would you say, Nizel? Was about like 3 weeks ago? I'm gonna try to find it. Maybe like even a snippet. What is Black Digital Wall Street is his name? I'm gonna try to run it through there and see if it populates anything. Cause like I just don't want you on here looking bad. Like what happens if someone hears you say, "Well, Tether's an American company," and they go and do their own research and like, "Damn, Tether's not an American country." If anything, for the majority of their inception, they were based in the British Virgin Islands. I just don't want you looking bad. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you losing credibility with your audience. What do you say? You said yes. He told me like a customer. He ain't cussing me out. He was just like, yeah. He just hit me with a signature punchline saying, and I'm like, all right, bro, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. I believe that Tether is based in El Salvador. I don't know if they're based in El Salvador. I want to say, matter of fact, I want to say they're based in the islands. Oh, El Salvador, you got it. I'm wrong. They must have made a switch. Oh, okay. They relocated there after securing the digital asset service provider. Like, well, shit, I'd have made the move too. Said it was El Salvador. Dubs in the chat for Scotty Dog. No, you are spot on with that one. Spot on. But okay, boom. So you see how we literally just went through that exchange? I said, hey, I think they were in the British Virgin Islands. Scotty Dog was like, no, I think it's El Salvador. Cool. We can go to the net. We can check. If this was digital assets live, he would have told Scotty Dog he had the IQ of a wet bologna sandwich and just would have been kept going into him, even though Scotty Dog was right. What we doing? What we doing? They used to be like FTX in the Bahamas. Yep, I think I remember that. I think I remember that. Like, what were we doing, sir? What are we doing? They were definitely in the Bahamas. They were definitely in the Bahamas. Sketchy stuff going on in the Bahamas. It's a lot of cryptos that be like incorporating in the Bahamas though. I don't mind some bologna sandwiches. I stay grounded. Cool. Hey, listen, cool. I'm not even mad at that. It's more funny than it is insulting. But you be like, damn, man, like that kind of rhetoric doesn't really lend for it doesn't really lend for like good conversation. You know what I mean? No, no, no. You good. You good. You good. You good. Wet bologna sandwich. Oh, that's cold. That's cold. It's cold. It's funny though. Yeah, nothing worse than ignorance. You know what I mean? Like I tell people all the time, like if I'm wrong, I'm gonna admit to it, but I gotta see that I'm wrong. I gotta see that I'm wrong. You know? Damn, we been in this thing 3 hours and 22 minutes. Shit. Y'all think I got to go get me a wet bologna sandwich? I'm hungry. I need to send you to Decrypto. I mean, yeah, send me your stuff. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen it. Even if I'm sure I'm right, gotta leave the room to validate. Yeah. Because my thing is, I just want to be objective. What up, Largo? How you doing, fam? I just got to make sure that I'm being objective because I legitimately like getting. Listen, if you've ever made an investment off bad intel, you know that shit sucks. Like I don't want that for people. I've been there a time or two. It's terrible. So my main thing is like, hey, let me just make sure I can get people the right information. Because if you have the right information, you've got a higher likelihood of making the right decision, the higher likelihood of making some money. I'm Brazilian. Is that a problem? Why would that be a problem? I like you being objective. You get to the nitty gritty. You see what I'm saying? Like I gotta find out where the opportunity is. I gotta find out where I can get in. I gotta see where I can get in. You feel me? Like right now, I gotta see if I can get into some tacos. Is my taco spot open? Let me check Google. Let me check Google Maps. Yup. And they close in 45 minutes. All right. Let me jump off this thing so I can get some tacos. You seem like an interesting person to me. I appreciate that. I think that's a good thing, right? I think that might be a good thing. I think I'm interesting. You talking about like one of them big old sandwiches? Largo, don't listen to Angel Money. She's been a hater her whole entire life. She's been a hater her whole entire life. Don't listen to her. She peanut butter and jealous. She hate us because she ain't us. What's going on in Brazil though? What's the word down in Brazil? I'm doing a quick Google search on Brazil to see what's going on with crypto down there. You guys got that new bank, that NUBANK, right? What is it? New bank, new bank crypto in Brazil. Yeah, Nubank's native cryptocurrency platform, Nubank Crypto, allows over 90 million users in Brazil to buy, sell, and store digital assets directly through their banking app. Investments start as low as $1. I'm guessing like Brazilian dollars. And the platform ensures zero fee crypto trades, on chain withdrawals, deposits, and USDC rewards programs. You know, the cool thing about that is one of the biggest investors in the world, Warren Buffett, who told people that Bitcoin was rat poison squared, is actually invested in Nubank. Here in Brazil is very different. How do you mean? Tell me about it. Exactly, Nizzle. Warren Buffett, yep. You got to be typing it. Slim thick with your you that. I might buy you a new bag. It says like your style. Can we have a conversation between the two worlds? Yeah, what's on your mind? Angel says you sent some, but I can't see it. I know my tacos, my tacos. But how often do I get a chance to sit down and have a powwow with one of the homies from Brazil? I'm gonna go get him though, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Cause I be hungry as shit. Johan, good to see you here, fam. Happy Memorial Day. Do I think the market is starting to bottom out? Not yet. I think it's kind of just going through. HRH, appreciate you sending a heart me. Thank you so much. I think it's kind of going through like a phase where it was going down, right? You got to have a relief rally in there every now and again. Do I think the bottom is in? Probably not yet. Probably not yet. We still got to go through midterms. And midterms have always been a little shaky. But just because they've always been a little shaky in the past doesn't mean that they will be in the future. I just think there's a lot of macroeconomic stuff. It's a little sketch, right? Like we got a carrier strike group just outside of Cuba, which if anything pops off there would be the closest that something has popped off in another country while being this close proximity wise to the homeland. So I think what you're seeing is probably a little bit of a relief rally across the board. Across the board. I don't think we out the woods yet though. I don't. Johan, appreciate the Heart Me family. Thank you so much. Hold on to your hats. Yeah. Hold on to your hat. Because I think what's going to happen is as soon as a lot of people think like, oh, it's safe to go back outside, like we're coming out of the woods, like composite man in the market is going to be like, badass. It's going to slap everybody across the face. Listen to Sean Paul, give it up to me. I haven't heard that song in forever. What news you have? Carrier strike group off the coast, Cuba. Not too far away from Cuba. Should be there like Tuesday. So I guess it's not really off the coast. I listened to it recently. No, you haven't. Let me see your Spotify history. Let me see your Spotify history. So you can't say Happy Memorial Day is usually a grim day for us vets. Much love. You know what? You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. When I was younger, I used to get Memorial Day and Veterans Day mixed up. But yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, Memorial Day, you're remembering all of the men and women who are in uniform, who are either KIA, or even just like retired, right? Made it out the military, lived a healthy life, and just, passed away due to natural causes. Yeah, so it's not really a happy Memorial Day. You're right. You're right. Actually, just kind of having that little bit of interaction with you. This day exacts a heavy toll. Sell a man, walk away. Yup. We'll see how June plays out, though. I'm looking at Radium 76. What is Drift at now? Have they ever recovered from the hack? Now I got that Sean Paul stuck in my head. Thanks, y'all. But you gotta give it up to me. I might get into a trade here. I tell you what, if I do, I'll end up posting it on My Twitter. And if you don't know, now you know. The Twitter is as follows, Crypto Glenn right there. If you're not following me on Twitter, definitely be sure to do so because I'll definitely throw up some trade setups right there. How are we looking at this 1 hour? Why I'm on the ICP chart, I have no idea. I'm not really a fan of this one. I want to see how the next candle opens up in 15 minutes. Oh, Manta, I remember I had such high hopes for Manta, and it has just been a let down. You're like, oh, that doesn't look bad. Then it's like you scroll back and you let all this other perspective into it. So bad. H bar is still drastic. Is this from the old all-time high? Yup. Going back to January. We were down 53% the last time we looked at this. That was down 77. Oh, I'm so glad I got rid of my H bar when I did. Holy shit. Victoria, appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. The music is in our minds now. It really is. I remember the video with him and Keisha Cole. Appreciate you, Dan. Thank you so much, man. Oh my God. Manta and Tia. Modular blockchain was supposed to be a narrative that performed, and we never got there. Absolutely a blemish on my record. Absolutely. Like, whenever I look at Tia, I'm just like, what the fuck happened? You were supposed to be the chosen one. You were supposed to be the chosen one. That was supposed to bring interoperability. Ugh. I remember I bought a gang of Tia and I staked it. Tia fell off a cliff and it never recovered. Elliptical, what's up, fam? I'm not gonna lie, that one sucks. I wish I could get that one back. Mm. Make the Brazilians happy and put on this song, Sean Paul. I'm gonna remember that when I'm in Brazil. I'm gonna just be walking around with a portable speaker. Gotta give it up to me. Let me find out that's low key the secret hack to make the Brazilian folks happy. I want to hang out, but I heard in Brazil you got to be careful, man. Like you be going to the parties and people be like plotting on you. Not bad. I'm talking here to the homie from Brazil. It's kind of got me going to. It's got me thinking about going to Brazil, but like I said, Brasilia is it's a beautiful place. It's full of a lot of beautiful people. But for what I'm told, you got to keep your head on that swivel. You know. You know. I'm told you got to keep your head on the swivel. All right, let me jump off this thing. I got to go get some tacos because your boy's kind of hungry, and if I don't get any food, I'm gonna turn into a Tasmanian devil. Um, we covered a lot. If you want to see that report in the first half, I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna download it, chop it off this back half, put on the front half to YouTube. So if you miss anything, you can definitely check them out. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, a moment to kind of sit back and reflect. If I do end up getting into any trades, I'm gonna post those on Twitter. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, the DMs are open on TikTok as well as Twitter. If for whatever strange reason you cannot get on and leave me a message, I'll tell you what, just leave it in the comment section in the most recent video, and I'll definitely get back to y'all. Evie, Donovan, these are going out Tuesday. Tuesday. When I get these in the mail, I will let y'all know. Donovan, I got your Addy. Evie, let me know. Peace. I'll be around. Like, if y'all just want to hit me up in the DMs, like, I'm around. I'm just about to, about to run and get some food. You know? I'm about to run and get some food. All right. I'll see y'all beautiful people in a little bit. And Mayana. Y'all be good.
Hey, Jill, come on. We're going to be late for the Crypto Blend live stream. Call Barack and Michelle, see if they're going to tune in and watch. We can see him chart Doggy Moo coin.
This is the best president of the United States, Donald Trump, and when I'm not putting high tariffs into place, I'm watching Crypto Glenn. Call me Dicky Duck.
We are late. The Crypto Glenn live stream has started without us. You fail me yet again, Stall Scream.
Jeez, I'm excited about this.
You're watching the Crypto Glenn nightly stream. Real Alpha, Blake, can you chart Doggy Moo coin for me?
I'm too old for this shit.
You know what time it is when you hear this track.
Let's get ready to rumble!
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing son of a gun! Woo!
This is culturally inappropriate.